Good evening, race fans, and welcome along to the Formula Racing League Super Sprint to the Grand Finals. That's right, the SimGrid VCO Grand Finals places are up for grabs for our brave competitors this evening. We'd have been a lot braver before the server reset. We did have rain, as you saw out there on track. It is pretty dry for them this evening, but that will just add to the racing intensity, I'm sure. 2 races per event, that's right, it's 60 minutes. 2 60-minute races, preempted by 15-minute qualifying session for race number 1. Sorry, it's Spa. I'm overly excited for this one. Race number 2. The starting grid will be decided from the finishing positions from race 1, but the top 10 will be reversed. Obviously, they're trying to get places in the SimGrid VCO finals, which is a driver swap event itself, so we will see mandatory pit stops this evening. They can refuel to their heart's content, and of course there is a mandatory tyre swap and a driver swap. There will only be a 10-minute pit window, which at Spa is going to be all kinds of fun. Of course, the top 3 teams from this competition will be awarded slots in GT3 cars in the finals. P4 and 5 will get themselves GT4 cars in the finals, and P6 through P8 they'll get themselves into a playoff in October, with the final 3 cars, the top 3 from that, sorry. The top 3 cars from the playoff will get themselves GT4 cars in the final. Excited? Just a little bit. Tonight on track 5 cars for the hosts FRL. Brabham Esport will be taking part. John Garza, Lucas Chevalier. We've got the Yellow Submarine Squad, 2S Esports, Eclipse Racing, Alex Zakdal, Nigel Longdon, Chris Jones amongst their ranks. Advisor will be taking part. We've got Auga Motorsport, BPM Soft, The Italian Job, Big Brain Racing. I've got Ryan O'Sullivan and Dan Whitehouse behind the wheel. Armamentario, Lockup Racing, CV Media, like and subscribe. Soldatov and Anu Friev behind the wheel of that one. We've also got Fun Sim Racing, Rock Corps, Mitya Miladanovic will be out on track. RNL, the Roar team, I've got the yellow and the blue car entered into this one. VDES, Absolute Motorsport in the Ferrari, Gagliardini and Pasemko, absolutely no slouches. Big Brain, I've got another car in as well, Redfern and Tomlin, the pairing there. We've got Ballas, oh yes, the Ukraine car, Pitchik and Zuznetsky, whose name I will butcher for the rest of the series and can only apologise in advance. Simply Race Esports, we've got David Hill and Jason Pooley, and of course Rocket Simsport, registered to be in. I'll just have a look and see if they are in. Jensen Buttons Sim Racing team, of course, registered to take part tonight. Oh no. Best laid plans of mice and men. There we go, but I hope everyone is a bit excited for this one. You really need to be a whole lot excited for this one. It is going to be absolutely spectacular. These contests so far have been hotly contested, it is safe to say, and I get front row seats. Let me just bring up the axle. There we go. He's that excited. He's leaving things out. Here he is, the man himself out on track. 15 minutes of qualifying. As we know, not a lot of time at Spa, over 2 minutes a lap. We won't discuss my lap times here, we can see them all queuing up. There is Williams. Screen on event logo. Oh, that one. Oh, sorry, yeah, I was still doing the introduction. I was just letting them get through their warm-up lap because I knew all would probably be a bunch of cars bunched up through the final chicane. As they do. Rob Barker in the chat. While he's also live and doing races on Gran Turismo 7, so give him a right click and a follow on Twitch, please, people. Omar Amor. Let's go Salva in Rubio and Mikel Rodriguez. 25 Nico says hello there. Danny Solanto says hello as well. King Phoenix, first one in the chat with the FRL logos. Love to see it. Gratuitous camera time for James Williams. He did found FRL and he's in a Ferrari. And we're on the warm-up laps as well. So let's get a look at the track and the cut. Oh, yeah, that's on super speedy. That's gone a bit. There we go. Come back to us, James. Come back. All is forgiven. Here he is off the Kemmel Straight coming through Melody. So easy to lose so much time. You really need to be in the middle part of the track here to get this exit to tear down the hill. The Audi about to disrespect quality etiquette. There we go. Back off, back off. Leave them plenty of room. No overtaking in qualifying. Go warm your tyres up. Coming towards what is now Speaker's Corner, not the iteration that we'll have here on ACC at the moment, but it will be coming. Down the hill. Double apex required, of course. Right, I'm on these exit curves again. Oh, that's going a bit quick again. Here we come into the campus complex, as I like to call it. Again, these corners, much like the Nürburgring, a lot of this course, each corner is designed or designated to set you up for the next corner, because we all know what's next. That's right, Stavolo. Get yourself on the inside curve, early shift to fourth to promote understeer, and then the long run towards Blanchimont. As you can see, the Flying Pig flying along the back straight. How many times will we see drivers go side by side through here this evening? We should start taking bets in the chat. 1 hour of racing, so there'll be plenty of opportunity. Heavy braking into the final chicane. Just missing that apex on the way in. Gets good rotation on the exit though. Safely staying away from the curves at the side. 15-degree track temperature, so nicely in the window, and we're all already seeing in times that are making my eyes absolutely water. 2:15.3 for the Italian job. He was only supposed to blow the doors off, and he's absolutely blown the roof off already with a 2:15.3. We've got Rakhmatov, who is but 5 thousandths behind. Let's remember, ladies and gents, this is Spa, 4.3 miles long, separated by 5 thousandths of a second. Matthias Ladke not too far behind either, a 10.5 there, and Ballas in the top 5. So too Jeffrey Ritchie making an appearance for Kimura Racing. My apologies, I did spot you guys in the list, and I was supposed to give you a mention in the opening. Jan Barth, is it Raven? Please tell me there isn't another poor soul on the planet that's unfortunate enough to sound like I do. You can't. I hope you haven't mistaken some poor other person for me. Falcon Pounce, car 20 is going to take it home, says Falcon Pounce. David Cesar for the RNL Roar. I really struggle with that. I've been in a couple of competitions recently, and for some reason, RNL Roar. It's Purple Burglar Alarm. Yeah, no, still working. But yes, there we go. Predictions in the chat for Cesar. Ladke now down to 5th. Ritchie 6th. As the Team Ballas car goes up to 2nd place. And Delfante goes quicker with a 2:14.7. Ben Crook for the PLR Esports team. Fungus Racing. Oh yeah, I did see them on the list as well, sorry. So many drivers to get through this evening. There's Nigel Longdon, I mentioned as well. He's driving for the Eclipse Racing team. Williams has got himself a time set. How many have we got so far? 29 teams with times set. We've got 40 starting the race this evening out of 49 registered. That is a very nice livery. There is Fabian Carner, teammate of Jan Barth, of course, in the chat. Which car are you in? Sorry, I should have a better list of the names. There is quite a few. Oh, that's what. Yeah, so there we go. It's Fabian that you're in with this evening. There we go. There he is there. 31 cars across the line. Still De La Fant leading the way. Klassen for SRE Rocket Simsport. Up to second position then, and that is of course Jensen Button's team. Jensen, one of the founders, so yeah, quite the expectation. Like having to be the drummer that took over from Dave Grohl, I guess. Hladky still up in third place then, so still up on the podium positions at the moment. Cesar in fourth, Rakhmetov in fifth position for VDES. Tomlin there breaking into top 15 for Big Brain Racing. Thomas Nopek just behind him for Guerrilla Racing. This is another pretty cool livery as well. If you like these. Oh, is it just a little bit of indecision there? Oh, car just slowing up ahead. 9/10 separating the top 10. Rock Cops Fun Sim Racing just outside the 1 second mark and just in the top 10 there, just ahead of Dominic Illinger, the Fast Forward Racing team. The Audi we saw chasing James Williams there a couple of laps ago. They've got themselves 11th place. So good running there so far. Zupanchik with a good lap time. Lost a bit through sector 3. So yeah, expect the SRE Sports team to make progression. It's pretty close. They're only 100th behind Crook and 2 tenths behind Nopek and Lena. Like I say, he lost 3 tenths through the final sector. Let's see how the post gets on this time. Could potentially, of course, be top end speed, but that has been addressed. The Porsche is definitely more competitive these days. Of course, the McLarens are a bit handy as well. Right up there at the top of the field is to see Zupanchik. Actually on an outlap this time, so this one won't count. I thought it was going in third. Let's see what happens when he crosses the line. This might. Yeah, only 4 minutes left to go. And nope, that wouldn't count. So, still De La Fant up the lead, 14-7. Klassen 2 tenths behind. Hladky still in third. Ryan O'Sullivan, one of only 3 drivers not to have set a time yet. Do expect him to set a good one. He should be in the top 20, I would say. Carner as well. Craig Hill for FRL. And Carner as well. Those are the 3 that still need to set times. Williams, Thompson, Woodward, Firth, Blondeel, all 3 seconds off the pace there, and that was the time set for Ryan O'Sullivan. Where did he put himself? There he is there, 28. And he's carrying a bit of time as well. We've got Emmanuel Real for the FBL boys. He's got that Lamborghini dialed in at the minute. He's got a bit of time on his hands. When I say a bit of time on his hands, it's a bit early in the lap, but he is looking quick. 1.5 seconds. That's going to move him right up into the top 10 if he can bring this one home. Leonardo Baccagini as well, 2 tenths up. He's already in 8th place at the minute. So good time he's making. And Delfante is going quicker again. And Emmanuel Real here could be a real threat to not only the top 5, but potentially the front row of the grid. He is absolutely motoring in this Ferrari. He's going to obviously be absolutely flat out here through Blanchimont. Throws that Ferrari in at the curb, keeps it beautifully on that inside curb. Comes into the final chicane. He will be praying he's not held up. Gets a little bit of kick through the final chicane. He's got a good exit using a generous amount of that exit curve. He's held on to that time. I think we're about to see a change in pole position as Emmanuel Real crosses the line. And nothing happens. Well, that was slightly anticlimactic. I have no idea why his time didn't change. That shouldn't have been shown if the lap was invalid. Sony's up again on this lap. We'll keep an eye on that. I will keep an eye on that. 26 was the Emmanuel Real. As I say, Baccagini, that's really confusing why the telemetry said that. And also, he's in the race twice. Okay, that's the problem. We've got some mixed wires with the telemetry ever so slightly. Hopefully that sorts itself out. The Ogre Motorsport team up in a 14th place, just behind in Rubio for the Tire Sim Racing esports team. Another superb livery. We'll see plenty of that during the race. Still the battle up at the front though. There is Baccagini. I think he must have rejoined the server. It's shown twice on the telemetry. Delfante still looking to improve on his time. He's a 10th up through turn 1. Martin Klaassen needs to find 2 tenths. He's got a 10th coming around the last corner. And that is him done with qualifying. So the best he can hope for at the minute is 2nd place. Latke, Cesar and Rakhmetov all behind. Nopek up. Baccagini there, not in the race. O'Sullivan is up as well. A bit of ballast on the 720S would have been nice. The bot was so overdone. 214 is very impressive. Yeah, it is an unbelievably dominant for a Lamborghini field. 10 McLaren. 10 McLarens in the top 11. Only Jeffrey Ritchie for Kimura Racing. Able to break their dominance. We've still got a couple of cars on track. Bokonda Barov is still putting in a lap at the minute. And he can see himself get inside the top 10. In fact, well, we'll wait and see. The telemetry has done me slightly wrong so far. We'll just check and make sure that is actually correct before we get too excited. He's coming through Blanchimont. It does say he's a half a second up. If you could bring that home, that's, as I say, top 10 material. It'll just edge out Rock Cops, who did manage to get within a second of the lead. Here he is through the final chicane across the line. Goes 12th, doesn't quite bring the whole half second home. But enough to see an improvement in position. And yeah, absolute McLaren dominance, as we can see. This is race number 1, which is an hour. Remember, race number 2 is finishing order. Top 10 will be reversed for race number 2. Just quickly refresh. Pitwall Live. Excellent. Telemetry as well, remember. You can keep up to date with it all on Pitwall Live. So jump on over there. You can keep up to date with the all the stats. We'll try and keep up with as much racing action as we can. 40 cars have qualified. 1 mandatory pit stop, 1 10-minute pit window, mandatory tyre change, mandatory driver change. Of course, it is the driver swap finals, and they're trying. The drivers and teams are trying to get themselves into. Ferrari, the middle engine cars really have done well this evening, although not many Mercedes in there at all. 19th position. As we can see, 40 cars set in times. Brough and Williams for FRL, Gedman and Thompson, Soter and Woodward all for FRL. Bringing up the rear, Hill, Firth and Barth. Barth, of course, for Advisor, and Salazar with Blondale, Feltham and Plaister. Goodway, Osorio. And in fact, sorry, let me bring up the actual. There we go. That is better.
20 seconds.
Fabian Carner for the start. We're talking about a car that's much faster than the others.
What about the night qualifying? Are you worried about that? 10 seconds.
I mean, I do remember when the Bentleys were dominant. Seeing a car this dominant, yeah, potentially not, but it is. Yeah, there's going to be some race if they can keep doing this for the entire race and keep the type of dominance that they've got at the moment. Let me get this working. There we go. It is round number 1 tonight. We've got Imola next week, followed by Bathurst, Kyalami, Silverstone, Valencia and the Nürburgring. So make sure you get tuned in for all of those. August 15th, 22nd, 29th, 5th of September, September 12th and September 19th. And I believe I think the Kyalami race might have slightly. I will have to double check. Sorry, I've neglected to finish that sentence in my notes. But I think the Kyalami race is in a slightly different length. I will have to double check that. Although, yeah, Jan Barth and the gang are in the chat. They're drivers in the series. They will know. I've filled that. I've started typing that in my notes, but I've not finished it. Very confused. But yeah, we'll definitely find out before we get there. We've got a few weeks to go. As of course the super sprint to the grand finals, the top 5 teams looking for guaranteed places in the final. 3 of them in a GT3 car, 2 of them in a GT4 car. 6th, 7th and 8th will get the drive in the playoffs. The top 3 teams in the playoffs will then also get a GT4 car in the finals. The final themselves, November and December. It will be a 3-round endurance multi-class race, obviously, with the GT3s and the GT4s. 40 cars looking to win one of those 5 automatic spaces. Delphant set the qualifying time, Klassen 2, so did Bacaglini, and they will all take the first stints for their car. Matthias Gladkey, this is going to be an absolute world here at turn number 1. David Cesar, the RNL Roar car there in 5th. Rakhmatov 6th. Jeffrey Ritchie in 7th. Yuzdetsky for Team Ballas in 9th. MF Kors in 8th. I'll have to check what team that actually is. Cozy. And it is Wheat Shark in the RNL Roar yellow car, rounding out the top 10 just ahead of Kops, Kondabarov and Illinger. Mubi and Garladini against some quick times in qualifying, certainly threatened by a lot of these drivers. And not the longest qualification at Spa, certainly 15 minutes. Can absolutely fly by around this track, that is for sure. That's in the way. Oh, we've got a car down on the formation lap. Oh, car 126, Windward Racing. Yeah, that's a lot of damage that Mercedes is carrying. I don't think he's going to get back in a position here. Yeah, that's a lot of aerodynamics to lose this early in the race. Here what we're coming towards what will of course be turn 1 is La Source, last lap. Last corner of the formation lap. And then it is 1 hour of racing, only a 10-minute pit window as well. So it is going to be hectic. I think there might be one team potentially driving this with a solo driver. They have accepted they'll need to take the penalty for it. But yeah, technical issues mean one of the drivers can't race. But here we go then, down the hill we go, green lights. Oh, there's drive-through there, 14th position, and Rubio gets himself a drive-through penalty, and it's a McLaren train over Eau Rouge and up Radion over the crest of the hill. And they are nice and neatly through, too wide all the way right down the field, everyone it seems. Oh no, we've got the Lamborghini. Oh, Lamborghini down, that's had a huge knock-on effect right down the field. That is 8 cars that have been caught up in that one. We've got Woodward who's right at the back there. That is the Lamborghini. You can just see spinning in the foreground there. He just lost it at the top of the hill. That looked like an Advisor car. They got caught up in that one as well. Rodriguez and Longden just getting themselves back involved. But up at the front it is still as you were, with the 4 McLarens leading the way down the hill towards what is soon to be Speaker's Corner. Oh, they've got 2 wide in the background. He's clipped the wall. He's going to come back over. He's managed to maintain the direction there. Kondabarov was watching that one ahead of him. The Audi then, one of the few manufacturers inside the top 15 that isn't a McLaren. He is leading the other Audi of Illinger and Rubio with that drive-through in 15th position. His only saving grace, of course, is going to be that pile up at the top of Radion. Through the campus complex then, it is still Delphance in second place. No, sorry, he's not. Someone's in the pits. Cologne. Half 5. Oh, so the FBL boys, they have returned to garage then. So there's been an incident there. Yeah, I'm not going to go back and watch the replay, but let's just keep an eye on what's going on up at the front. It's still Delphante. Who else was watching? Yes, Yudzetsky putting some serious pressure on Picozzi as well. Picozzi leaving more than enough room. Ooh, Yudzetsky not quite leaving the same amount of room on the exit. Does elbow his way through and gets that overtake done in the back. The RNLR car having a look. Drive-through for speeding on the start confirmation, and Rubio got 2 laps left. Oh, there's a spin into turn 1. The McLaren is sideways. That is Picozzi. Oh, and he's really caught between a rock and a hard place. Yes, he's going to have to hold these brakes for quite some time. As the Mercedes that spun on the opening lap, there is the FRL drive and arrive and drive Lamborghini. And then finds himself challenged on the way up Eau Rouge and Radion. The McLaren falls back into line. He's got himself a good run. He's really abused those track limits there. So is the Mercedes. The aerodynamics massively compromised. Clear as you can see Picozzi tumbling down the order. 26th position then. After that, Delfante, sorry. I keep putting a phantom A in there. He is still leading the way. Jeffrey Ritchie is leading the timing boards at the moment. Kimura Racing with a purple lap at the moment. But it is only, of course, the opening lap. It seems like they've been out there for a while. Quite a few cars in the pits. Longdon and SRE Esports are in. Michener Motorsports are in as well. So too there is Rodriguez there for the tyre sim racing car. I think that was the car that turned sideways on the curve. Fabian Karner is in the pits as well. So too Matthias Haleman. So he took the wheel to start the race for Lockup of Racing. 6 cars in the pit at the end of lap number 1. 1 minute 4 damage for Fabian and the Advisor team. See the carnage up close, says Del. Indeed, that was one car going slightly sideways. And it really does lead to big problems at tracks, like especially over that corner. Let's face it, that is Loesch, actually, the Panda Esport Racing team. He's actually looking to make up a position there. He's got this done beautifully through the final chicane. Very nicely done indeed. Thomas Nopek for Guerrilla Racing, putting a lot of pressure on Casing ahead of him as well. Delfant and Clayson and Baccaglini, the lead pack to say the least at the minute. He's got a decent gap back to Hladky, unable to say the same. He is the cork in the bottle at the minute, and it's Jeffrey Ritchie, Cesar and Rakhmatov who are looking to burst their way through. Look at the gains made under slipstream. Hladky sending them round the outside. It's going to be 2 by 2 by 2 into Melmaday, and he's just about managed to hang on to it there. Hladky leaving all the grip on the tarmac that he could there, and he makes the car stick, makes it wide enough. Ritchie still in his slipstream though, with Cesar and Rakhmatov firmly clamped onto the back of that car as well. In this battle, definitely Aidan Baccaglini ahead. He can really concentrate on catching up to Klassen. Klassen firmly in the middle of these two. Don't get a good view from there. Kind of see the rear view mirror from there as ahead through. Oh, look at that. I really thought he was about to lose that there. That extra little bit of wiggle, that would have sent most of the bottles straight into the bin. But no such mistakes there. Oh, and again, right out on that curb. That would have been a track limit for me. Again, the McLaren, so much extra steering, but you can see just a slight change on the steering wheel there, whether that was something to do with traction. Traction control 2, ABS 2 at the minute as they head towards Blanchimont. 9/10 of a second separating the top 3. There is heroic battles going on through the field at the minute, and Rubio defending against Casing and Nopek. He's going to lose multiple positions though when he comes in to take that drive through for speeding on the start line. Gagliardini is looking to get himself past Hill. The battle for top 20 going on there. Illinger in 19th place, looking to get past Lynn, who's got Loesch and Tomlin for Big Brain Racing firmly in his sights. That's the battle for, it's a 4-way battle for 16th position, but this is a 3-way battle for the lead of the race, and we've got 7/10 of a second separating the top 3. Absolutely flat out through Eau Rouge and Radio on the full of race fuel, although it is a 60-minute race, so they're going to be carrying 30 minutes worth of fuel, so not exactly a full fuel tank, but nonetheless that is how we make that absolutely stick. And you can see Baccaglini in the background. Really is pressing Klassen at the minute in this battle. In fact, let's just double check in on Hladky, because he does have Jeffrey Ritchie hunting him down still. Cesar in 6th place. Rakhmatov still hanging on to the back of this group. in 7th position. You can see the bars that you can see unfolding. He's got 1.3 seconds back to Useski, who's got a big gap back to Whitescore, who's got Rock Cops now inside the top 10. He started in 11th, so he's up a place. Nopek still pestering Tomlin, who's now trying to get past Casing. Loesch and Lynn still battling out with Illinger. There really is battles right through the field. Worst time possible. I got a tickle in the throat. Oh, Illinger very almost left an Audi badge in the back of the McLaren there. Managed to avoid the contact. Let's check back up and see how it's going up at the front. Klassen still in second. They're actually coming up behind one of the cars that had to pit at the end of lap number 1. You can see that group of 4 behind, absolutely not letting go at all there. Jeffrey Ritchie in 5th position, and it really is a Ferrari versus the McLarens then. Ritchie fighting the good fight at the moment. He's got that Ferrari up into the top 10, the only car in the top 10 that isn't a McLaren, and one of only 3 cars in the top 15 that isn't a McLaren. He heads up LaRouge and Radio. Oh, just on that inside curve, and we see some dust kicked up from the drivers ahead. Now, as they're already making their way into Mermaday Lafant. That is one of the FRL Ferraris just ahead of them, so the blue flags will be waving, the lights will be flashing as the lead group try to make their way through. Down the hill very comfortably, looking past Klassen. There's a look up the inside there. The top pros know how to use blue flag traffic, multi-class traffic. It's very much an accepted strategy and a sought after skill set as well. We'll see Ryan O'Sullivan coming into the pits for Big Brain Racing. That is early, obviously out with the pit window. Only 49 minutes into the race. Let's get back up to the front. Klassen still pressing. That group of 4 behind still right on top on our Cops. Waits Corp could well find themselves catching up. The Team Ballas car as well. Not too far off the pace, as we can see. He too just lapping the FRL Ferrari, meaning he is close to the group ahead. We're on board at the minute with Cesar. Virtual mirror left on. Out of Stavolo and towards Blanchimont. No side-by-sides through there so far. There's certainly none that we've seen on camera. Still a great battle going on between Jimmy Lynn and the drivers ahead. The Petrol Aficionados racing driver is having a great drive at the minute. He's Dominic Illinger under all kinds of pressure. As Illinger trying to get past Remy Loesch. Panda Esports other car in the race. They've got Joe Tomlin just ahead of them. He's trying to catch up to Casing and Nopek again. Another 2 drivers having themselves a great little battle for position. So too Gagliardini for Absolute Motorsport, trying to find his way past David Hill, the SRE Simply Race Esports, another very quick team. These two both very quick teams down the order at the minute. So that's just a quick update on some of the battles that we're going on. Apologies if you've got teams down the field at the minute and we're missing out on any overtakes that they're involved in, but up at the front we can see that it is so close between the top 6 drivers. The top 3 right on top of her, then Latke, Ritchie and Cesar. Rakhmatov right in the hunt with us as well, and we've got some blue flag traffic in there as well. Just giving a nice bit of slipstream, hopefully not slowing the drivers down too much. As you can see, they've all made their way through absolutely beautifully. Eric Delfante, he took pole position. He's taken the lead of the race since the start, and he's just taken the fastest race lap. I wonder how many times that purple tag will change hands over the course of the race. It might be a bit of an ask to get some quicker time, though. The track down to 13 degrees, and it's 8 PM local time now for the race. So yeah, the track's not likely to get any warmer. As we can see, Delphant starting to find himself a bit of breathing space from Klaassen. Klaassen can't keep the same. Bacaglini still hanging on at the back there, and so too Matthias Ladke still got the Jeffrey Ritchie Ferrari firmly planted on that rear spoiler. David Cesar dropping off the pace ever so slightly as he finds himself concentrating on defending from Tamir Rakhmatov in the VDES Junior car. If that's the juniors, could you imagine what his big brother can do? We've got Zuzketsky, the Team Ballas car, still inside the top 10, lapping comfortably in 8th. Then Rock Cops, as I mentioned, Weizkort, the RNLR Roar car, in 9th. Cops there, Fun Sim Racing in 10th. Olga Motorsports in 11th in the Italian job, car number 2. In 12th place, 13th for Keith and Gorilla Racing in 14th place. Gagliardini still trying to get his way past Hill. And we've got a couple of cars. We've got 2 cars no longer with us. The Tyre Sim Racing car, they are back out on track. Ryan O'Sullivan got his damage repaired. He's back out 37th, and so too Matthias Haleman. For Lockup Racing, got the damage repaired, back out and looking to finish the race strongly. As we can see, that's Yudzetsky. No, it's Rakhmatov, sorry. Oh, it's full elbows out between the two of them. Rakhmatov really looking to get his way past, and he just about holds it on that exit. Let's have another look back at that one then, see how that built up. So the final chicane, RNLR car still had some good traction and a good bit of time into La Source. We're into the braking zone first, then into the Source. You can see how close they are up ahead. Both of them get good exits. It's all about the slipstream then from this point on. Down the hill, he's going to be carrying a lot of speed when he gets down the hill. If he can control that, oh, he does indeed. Gets a very nice line there up over Radion and onto the Kemmel straight, and you get the feeling, we all know where this one goes from here. He gets offered the outside line, he takes the outside line. More than generous amount of room left, hooks the wheels on the inside of the curb to get the rotation. Oh, a little bit of door banging as we saw on the way through. A couple of wing mirrors potentially lost there. But it is Rakhmatov who is up into 6th position, and well, that's been going on. Jeffrey Ritchie still trying to get his way past Matthias Ladke in the top 3, very much becoming a top 1 and a chasing pack of 2, and that's about to become a chasing pack of 4. As we can see that Jeffrey Ritchie, what an exit he's got once again. As you can see, some penalties coming out. Car number 56. Luka Zupanchik. So that will be for contact in the opening lap. 15 minutes in. Time flies when you're driving at Spa, that is for sure. Oh, Opel Rouge and Radion, 2nd and 3rd, really going in it there. And in fact, no, that's 1st and 2nd. Oh, it is indeed Bacaglini. What's going on there? Klaassen has lost massive amounts of time. Jeffrey Ritchie really putting on the pressure through the Melody complex and on the exit. I think he's got it done. Yeah, he has indeed. He's got his nose in front. And down towards Speaker's Corner. Let's see what happened to Martin Klaassen. Big look up the inside from Bacaglini, but the cutback was definitely on from Klaassen then. As they head down the hill. But Bacaglini, to be fair, still got his nose in front at this stage. Does he have his nose in front as they get to the point where they need to throw the cars in? Right round the outside. Oh, nowhere near legal there, way over the left hand side. That'll be a track cut. I think Klaassen lifted there to avoid getting an in-game penalty, and that's what gave Jeffrey Ritchie and Matthias Ladke an absolute run at him on the way into Melody. And we see Jeffrey Ritchie absolutely holding his ground again. More than enough room left by both drivers. The McLaren of Klaassen on the inside there, hooking those tyres right onto that curb. Again, on the exit curb, Absolute beautiful driving through the middle phase there by Richie in the Ferrari, getting the two wheels on the green AstroTurf, really getting the rotation and getting the power down, getting the nose in front. And it is Klassen then, finds himself down to 5th position, and all the wire, Alec Delfante, it really is getting the job done for the Italians. The Italian job team now 3.2 seconds in the lead. Bacaglini for LB Motorsport now finds himself in second. It's Ladke in third, and it's Richie and Klassen going side by side into the La Source. I was going to say once again, going side by side once again. It's the first time they've gone side by side into La Source. It's going to be Klassen that's got himself the slipstream as the head down. As you can see how much more speed he's got there, and that's actually going to be costly. He's going off the left, he's not going to be in full control of the car, not as quite as much aerodynamics, and of course when they got into the Kemmel Straight, not as much momentum. So it's not always the best thing to close in the slipstream at certain parts of the track. It is detrimental, as you can see there. If Klassen had been 3 seconds later when he caught onto that slipstream, it would have been at the top of the hill rather than at the bottom. At the bottom it's no good to you. Up at the top, go on the Kemmel Straight. That's where you get the job done, and it's where Richie got the job done on the previous lap. The Ferrari driver up into 4th. Incredible battle unfolding up here. Rock Corps too, putting the pressure on Beach Corp as well. This is another McLaren on McLaren battle. We'll see a lot of them over this Series 1 fields. Matthias Ladke looking for another one of those, and it is Bacaglini ahead of him. Klassen and Richie, though, you get the feeling you can't take your eyes off either of these battles at the minute. Again, apologies to anyone that's running further down the order at the minute. There is still this Michael Firth. He too involved in a very good battle at the minute with Maxime Blondel, who was in the pits earlier, I believe. So that's still a battle going on. Feltham, Matthew Feltham there for MMS. We saw him not too long ago, as you can see. Plenty of cars and plenty of action right down the field. That's just actually a blue flag as he's still chasing. A couple of penalties handed out. Haleman with 30 seconds, Supanchik with 15, Blondel with 15, Ellingham with a 5-second penalty, and Lopek, the highest position driver with a penalty. Let's have a look at David Cesar at the minute. 7th place. Oh, and it's himself and Rakhmatov once again having a battle, and all they're doing is bringing Ujetski for Team Ballas right back into this. So here we go then through Blanchimont. Did they go side by side? No, they did not, but again the McLaren so close through Blanchimont, it's really hard to then find the space and find the grip to get the car alongside your opponent into the final chicane. Really hangs in there. Good braking through the middle phase, just a bit of contact on the way out. The stewards may well have a look at that. Too difficult to tell from the angle that we just had. But here comes Rakhmatov straight back at him then along the Kemmel Straight again. That is where you want the slipstream. So much later on the brakes. Is he going to hold that? He really has indeed then. Cesar not quite on the brakes the way Rakhmatov was. Rakhmatov back up to 6th position. Ujetski with front row seats to the battle between these two. Ladke still trying to find his place on the podium, improving, and Richie looking to get on the podium while fending off a driver that was for the opening 6 laps on said podium. Martin Klassen now finds himself in 5th position, Richie 4th, Ladke 3rd, Bacaglini in 2nd, and all the while, as I say, Delfante 3.5 seconds to the good. So a great start to the race and to the series. Of course, race number 2 straight after this, the top 10 will be reversed. So Delfante will be starting in 1st place, and it'll be Weizkork who will be starting in 1st at the minute, but still a lot that can change with the pit stops and of course the driver swaps still to come. Heading towards Blanchimont, Delfante already through and into the final chicane. Bacaglini, Ladke, Richie and Klassen still following one another. Salguirni. There we go, just checking if our mod covers there. Yeah, right, okay, that's sorted. That is that Baku Greenie? It is indeed. What's going on there? That's not far enough. Right, sorry, so yeah, while I was sorting myself there a little glass of juice, we've got Baku Greenie up Eau Rouge and over Radion. Oh, and he's made contact with one of his teammates that he was lapping there. So that is a wayward back marker up Eau Rouge, and that's completely robbed him his momentum. That's put Klassen back ahead of him as well, and it's put a serious battle up ahead as Jeffrey Ritchie now finds himself up in the second position as he got the move done on Hladky as well. Now, so you can see the move already done there, in fact. Hladky down into third position at this point and coming under increasing pressure again from Klassen early doors. So it's all change up at the front. And they really do use that exit curve liberally. That's, yeah, right, a brave old line to take. But they do make it stick. So all change on the podium, not of course up at the front. Delphante now with a 6.5 second lead. Ritchie in second place. Hladky in third. Klassen in fourth. Baku Greenie in fifth. Rakhmetov in sixth. Cesar in seventh. Cesar and Rakhmetov are a great battle as well. Coming into the final chicane, he's going to have another look potentially. Uzeski still, oh, and that's another car sideways. And that is Baku Greenie. Well, we've got another penalty coming in. So through, oh, he really hit that inside curb at Blanchimont. That is very brave. I know the 1.9 physics has made hitting the curbs a bit less dangerous. Oh, and the back of the car just kept going. That's a good save though. In the grand scheme of things, that could have been a lot worse at that position, and he's just fired it straight in the pits to get that pit stop done. Wow. It would seem that being in second and third might be the least safe position on the track. We've seen quite a few drivers now up on those podium positions, and they're not there now. All apart, of course, from Eric Delphante, the Italian job, still doing exactly what he needs to do. He's already got his race laps down to 2 minute 15.4. As we see Baku Greenie tumbling down the order then as he is in the pits to get his mandatory stop taken. As the pit window is open, so a fortuitously timed crash, if ever there was one, right at the start of the pit entrance as well. And the pit window is open, so we can meet those requirements. O'Sullivan's in the pit, so too is Woodward. Blondie in 15 seconds heel of the serve. The Arrive and Drive FRL Lamborghini of Goodway is in. There's Baku Greenie down to 24th position. We can see him tumbling down to it at the moment. So yeah, 8 minutes for the pit window. Delphante says no thank you. He is going to stay out for another lap. Can't say I blame him if you're the race strategist. You're not really going to interrupt him. Yeah, he's lapped the quickest lap for Delphante so far in the race, 2 minute 15.4. His slowest race lap so far, unhindered by traffic, 2 minute 15.9. So 0.4 of a second. Once he's got into his rhythm, he's not strayed past, and that is the level of consistency that really will win you races. And 6.9 seconds ahead of a field. There was no more than 0.2 of a second separating them in qualifying. There's Hladky in, Kondabarov coming in. So here comes all the driver swaps. What's going on there? Ritchie still out. He is just coming through sector 2 now. Cesar looking to put on a bit of pressure as well. He's up to 6 now in the pit stops to start. He is behind Yuzetski. So we've missed the overtake there. Yuzetski has got the overtake done. The Team Ballast car now ahead of Cesar. Rock Corps up into 7th. Weechcork and Nopek both with penalties to serve. Illinger with that penalty served. Malvone on his way out. Loesch on the way in. Lynn on the way into pits. Gagliardini into the pits as well. Delfante is still through the lap. Ritchie still in second place. The Ferrari driver starting in 5th. Now up to 2nd. Really is bringing the fight to the McLarens. And that is no understatement. There's 2 non-McLarens in the top 11. And that's because Hladky and the gang have come into the pits. There is Mattia De Campo taking over. Hitchum Duby is out for the Italian job, the car that was in the lead of the race. Oh no, sorry. Delfante's still there. It's the other Italian job car. I did wonder there. Kimura livery goes hard, says Joey Cottondon. Oh, he's just come into pits. Indeed it does, yeah. Some really good liveries out tonight, which is good to see. Cops, as I say, in the pits. Cesar in for RNL Roar. Klassen does come in. Ritchie we just saw. Still ahead, he comes in. So Rakhmatov and Yuzetski up to 2nd and 3rd. Eric Delfant stays out leading the way. Still got 5 minutes left of the pit window. Bacaglini no longer in the race. Zupanchik taking his pit stop. That's going to be an extra 15 seconds we can see there as well. Sullivan is in. Haleman is on his way out of the... Oh, just on his way in, sorry. Again, another penalty to serve there. Chris Soter has been in... is on his way out, sorry. Chris Gedman now taking over for Thompson. Solitary Mercedes. Oh, 2 Mercedes, my apologies. Of course, Chesney Salazar, the Winward Racing car, took a bit of a nosedive into the wall on the warm-up lap. Hasn't really been able to recover. Stefan Koklachev for Oga Motorsports back out 2nd place at the minute out of the cars that have taken their pits. To Campo looking to work wonders up at the front. Delfante stayed out. Rakhmatov and Yuzetski have stayed out as well. Jeffrey Ritchie hands over to Philip Minar as he exits the pits. A tricky pit exit. And on to one of the fastest parts of the course. There is James Williams just going back. He will retake a lap. Let's see where Ritchie's teammate is. He is ahead still of Klassen's teammate. Then it's Rafael Malo that takes over for the SRE Rocket Simsport team. They've come in the pits right in traffic as well. Rakhmatov comes into the pits. Yuzetski comes into the pits as well. Delfante has stayed out. So the race leader has stayed out on track. Yeah, he's going to get another lap up. That's Shubham Chowdhury there for the Petrol Aficionados team. Very quickly and smoothly out the way to let the race leader through. There's Tomlin. Max Leonard out for the Panda Esports team now. I just saw Tomlin coming in. There he is there. On his way for the big brain up to 7th position with the way the pit stops have ironed themselves out. Rakhmatov is still heading towards his pit box. So too Yuzetski at the minute. Nopek and Illinger both to come into the pits, both with penalties to serve. So there's going to be some serious changes in the running order. As we can see, Malo making his way past Williams. Oh, Williams carrying a bit of damage here, unfortunately, in 11th position. So the Ferrari's taking a bit of knock there. Williams has got a minute. Yeah, he's going to have to come into the pits. You're at least 2 minutes. Well, I was going to say at least 2 minutes 19 for a lap around here, but some of these drivers 2 minutes 14, 2 minutes 14 in quali, 2 minutes 15 in the race. More than one car has done 2 minute 15s in the race. Incredible the pace that drivers are getting. Still, Delphante then. Really has cut this one close on the stint. Love to see it into the final chicane. 1 minute 23 seconds left of the pit window. Makes his way in. Ole Pitchik has come out for Yudzecki. Rakhmetov has been relieved, of course. The Campo. I don't know why. There we go. It's finally changed on there. Gornikov is out for the VDES team. Auga Motorsports. Oh, there's Matt Redfern, of course. He's come out for Joe Tomlin. Again, that is a fun pit entrance. That is a sign that's just come past there. So that's all going to be changed there. Michael Sign sends him up the inside then. Max Leonard looking for a little bit move up the inside of Melmede. Gets the nose in front. Good rotation. Can the McLaren come back? Nope. The Panda Esports driver has got the car parked right in the middle of the course where he needed it to be to get as fast an exit as possible. Williams in the pits. David Cesar in the pits. I fear I may have missed something. It was Cesar down to 22nd position. I know he had a bit of an incident. I didn't realise it was that far down the order, but Tim Schaefer coming back out. Dropping positions there. The Campo pit window now closed. As we can see, Illinger, Nopek, Waitscork and Delphant all in. Delphant, as I say, really leaving that right to the last minute. Here comes Philip Minar then in the Kimura Racing team into the final chicane. Got a back marker just ahead of him. He is chasing down the lead of the race, and it's Carlo Delia who takes over for the Italian job. The car is moving. Minar is into the final chicane, being hunted down by Matteo De Campo. Oh, he's been spun. There's been a pile up and round the outside, and here comes Rafael Malo then. Makes up one position. He's surely going to get the position along the back straight. That is not what they needed around La Source. It's exactly what the Italian job needed. They had 6 seconds over the rest of the field when they came into the pits, and that gap is going to be accentuated after that coming together there. And it's Rafael Malo who finds himself with a phenomenal run along the Kemmel Straight and into Melmede. It is surely the SRE Rocket Simsport team back up into second position. Absolutely beautiful work there by Malo. Saw the coming together. Nothing to do with the two drivers involved. They just wrong place, wrong time for the back marker. Tried to put the car back up the inside. Second and third came together. They now find themselves third and fourth as Malo says thank you very much. We will retake second position. So Delia comes out the pits, maintains the lead and increases the gap to 10 seconds. So phenomenal opening stint for them. Bjorn Dale is out for Guerrilla Racing, and Janssen for RNL Roar. We see him sideways off track, and again coming out of the pits, so this is on the way. Oh, the trees are in the way. Ooh, there we go, one of the Lamborghinis trying to get an extra bit of slipstream then. So coming into Melmede. Oh, cold tyres on the curb, over rotation, keeps it out of the wall though. So the McLaren will live to fight another few laps for sure. That's perhaps not the best of rejoins. Could have maybe gone for a wee cheeky 3-point turn there. Give the rest of the drivers ahead a fright. Let's have a look and see. Oh, and speaking of giving the driver... Oh, no! Oh, he's taking avoiding action there. Philip Minar trying to avoid a car out of the race. Sorry, that was my brain computing 3 stop processes at once there. I didn't know whether to watch the Mercedes that's just crashed or Philip Minar, but it is Philip Minar who were on board. But the Mercedes was not out of the race. It was certainly on the track sideways. Oh, on the exit to Blanchimont, he's put 2 wheels on the grass. Oh my goodness, absolutely nothing he could do there. Unbelievable. The highs and the lows are racing right there. Oh, and there's been more coming together on that one as well, it seems. There is Eric Janssen coming out. Yeah, so it was Chamaudry, sorry. Came round the corner as well. And the golden rule is, if you have a crash, you have to hold your brakes. And yeah, that is an unfortunate position to have lost that. And need to hold the brakes again. Through Stavolo then, on board with the Audi. This is really going to throw the cat amongst the pigeons as far as the finishing order goes. It was looking very good indeed for Kimura Racing. Now not so much. Through Blanchimont. Oh no, so no Mercedes this time. Oh yes, Mercedes. Oh, that's the Lamborghini recovering. Oh, and he took a tap from the Lamborghini. The Lamborghini came over and tapped him on his way into the braking zone, and that's what upset Audi. Okay, there's been a lot more going on there than we are going to be able to keep up to, unfortunately. But we're likely to see more penalties being handed out there, I fear. We'll let the stewards work out that one. We will try and work out who is in third position, and it's Mattia De Campo for the Thomas Eng Sim Racing team. Gornikov for VDS Junior, they're up to 4th. Ole Pitchek, Team Balas Ukraine, 5th place. Philip Minar for the Kimura Racing team, now in 6th position. And I don't think it's going to be 6th for much longer. Stepan Kovlichev for the Auga Motorsport. Yeah, not much of a battle there from Mina. To say his aerodynamics are compromised would be somewhat of an understatement, you fear. As we can see, the Italian Job second car go past as well. I think we're going to see Mina come into pits here. That Ferrari really was bringing the fight to the top of the table. McLaren's there. Wrong place, wrong time. Such an unfortunate incident. Trying to avoid a stationary car on track. Just touches the grass on the exit to Blanchimont, and that is a painful one. And there we can see, in fact, not Max Leonard. Nope. Yeah, Chesney Salazar, the Windward Racing. That is another one of the Mercedes that's had a bit of an interesting race. 5-second penalty for 738. Still trying to get my head round and process that one there. Lewis Robinson for FRL out on track, coming under serious pressure from Janssen. Then Janssen was much further up the order. See Mina, sorry, dropping down the order there. Childry and Sign both going through. Bjorn Dale now in the top 10. So too Matt Redfern for Big Brain Racing. Hitcham Duby for the Italian Job. Now 7th position. Makoplichev ahead of them in 6th. Pitchik in 5th place with Team Balas Ukraine. And as I mentioned, it's Gornikov, De Campo, Malo. And way out at the front it is Carlo Delia, the Italian Job car, moving just as quickly under Carlo's guidance. 2 minutes 16.0 the previous lap, just about to cross the line. 271, so held up slightly by the traffic there, but still putting a good bit of time between himself and the rest of the field. Rafael Malo crosses line 2:15.8. So he was quicker, and we can see first time in the race the gap there has actually dropped slightly between the top two. Drive-through for track limits in the top 10. Hitcham Duby, the Italian Job second car. All the work had been done in the opening 43 minutes, all undone with 3 trips off the track. The limits need to be adhered to. And Doobie is about to find a long trip into pits. Approximately 77% of his of a lap time will be lost. So that is going to drop him right down the field. Hailed drop what happened off the start. Best guess, based on the limited information that we have, it did look like the Tyre Sim Racing Lamborghini hit the curb awkwardly at the top of Radion. The car turned sideways. Yeah. If you know sim racing, if you know real racing, you know what happened next. Yeah, for anybody who doesn't, chaos. Yeah, 8-9 cars got themselves caught up, and then we've seen various incidents so as well. Delia completely unaffected by them all up at the front. Malo definitely affected, down to 5th at one point, just behind Derek Brough now. And he's got still De Campo chasing him down for the Thomas Eng Racing. De Campo getting a bit of slipstream through as well. Number 252 is moving back through the field. That is Samuel Cholmondeley, which I hope I am even close to pronouncing correctly. Oops, sorry, almost turned the game volume off for you. But yeah, the Audi was another car collected in the final chicane. Just makes his way past. But it's all about the McLarens at the minute. Up at the top, 15 minutes left to go in race number 1 this evening. We've got a second race tonight, the top 10 reverse order grid. There is Jason Pooley out for the SRE Simply Race Esports. 1 lap left for car 180 for pit stop. Pronounced Chumley. I know I'm getting into trouble for one of these. Follow. They find themselves with a Lamborghini just up the inside as the battle out for the podium position again. Matteo De Campo really looking to get himself up the second. He's got himself up the inside. Has he got the outside line? Can he find the grip? Has he got the track limits? Oh, that is a brave move. Is he going to be able to hold this one off? As the head down the hill into double gauche, that is a lot less grip now. 13 degrees, the track almost looks greasy in the slight. 8:53 local time on this one. Towards the campus complex and heading towards Stavelot. This is going to be an interesting one in the slipstream all again, playing into the hands of Delia and the Italian job team. Their confirmation. Oh, that early shift up to 4th then. Will Malo be close enough to go side by side through Blanchimont? Is he going to try and go side by side through Blanchimont? Of course he is. No, he's not. A bit of lift then. Is he going to get the tighter run? Is he looking for a move into the final chicane, or is he saving this one for the Kemmel Straight? Or is he potential? Oh, okay. There was a Lamborghini ahead of them, and that is another drive-through. Someone else is on a drive-through. Someone outside the top 23 though. Johnny Evans, out in the car. Well, this has all been going on. Agornikov in the background has managed to close in, having a look right up that inside. Then De Campo running a bit deep into La Source. Malo very nearly getting the move done as Agornikov lurks in the background. Is he going to be the driver? He is the driver in the best position. If there's 3 drivers battling for a position, it's usually the driver in 3rd. He can eye up his move, not quite close enough this time, as we can see the McLaren go around at the outside of the sister car. Oh, and he's got that one done absolutely beautifully through the Melbourne complex and down on the exit towards double gauche. Yep, he's absolutely got that one done. Gornikov could get this done on De Campo as well. To be comes into the pits to take that drive-through for track limits. He's going to lose quite a few positions there. All three cars this time managing to keep that one nice and neat as they head down again into the hill. Look at the way they use those curves. Oh, he's avoided that inside apex then, and that might cost him a bit of speed on the exit, as we can see Malo gets a good run ahead of De Campo. De Campo now, he's going to be spending more time watching the Gornikov in his rear view mirror than Malo ahead of him, given the gaps that they've got, as all the while D'Elia, my apologies, I am terrible at Italian names. Oh, that's another drive-through penalty we're seeing handed out. This is late in the race. The pits are going to be a lot busier than we would have thought. It's Whitehouse for Big Brain Racing has picked up a drive-through. Still got that mandatory. Oh, they must have missed the pit window to change drivers. We've got Brain Agudelo, the Tyre Sim Racing car, coming, putting big pressure on Chris Soter then, the FRL Ferrari. So still battles again right through the field. And we've probably missed quite a few, so I do apologise again if your teams are running and we've missed some of the action down at the bottom of the grid. We certainly do like to get as much action as we can. Misha Milanovic for the Fun Sim Racing team. He's taken over, of course, for Rock Cops. They've seen themselves tumble down the order as well. That's the FRL Arrive and Drive Lamborghini. Sergio Osorio at the wheel of this one. Eau Rouge and Radion side by side, as they've got the Team Ballas Ukraine car in the background. Has a big wiggle. Two of them completely avoid the track limits here, likely to get a bit of a warning from the in-game steers, but they have made their way through. Minar back out in 21st position. Yep, we're just going to let that sink in. Heartbreaking race they've had, but it's still a long series. We've got a lot of races still to come, and some absolutely incredible tracks. We've got, of course, Imola next, then Bathurst, Kyalami, Silverstone, Valencia, and the series finishes at the Nürburgring. 2 1-hour races for each event. Oh yes. There is confirmation. Number 14 needs to come in to take that drive-through. There's confirmation we need to be watching a Gornikov, who is still applying that pressure to De Campo. Malo watching the battle in the rear view mirror. Actually, might even be watching it on the reflection on the back of that rear spoiler there, as we can see the flames spitting out the back of that McLaren, almost trying to fend off the McLaren that's chasing them down. It is Malo, De Campo and Gornikov fighting over the final 2 podium positions. The exit Stavolo once again. We're 21 laps in, less than 10 minutes of the opening round to go, and what a round it has been. Simon Pooley in the background. Jason Pooley, since coming out the pits, has made good progress through the field as well. The SRE Simply Race Esports team up to 11th position, just getting past Sign there. He's got Crook a fair bit up the road, but it's definitely shown good time then, so definitely wants to watch in race number 2. De Campo's changed positions. De Campo has been overtaken by a Gornikov. Let's have a look at that one again. Okay, let's stay on board with De Campo. As soon as I look away, there's a position change on the podium. Isn't that always the way? Apologies, but let's look at Stavolo. The exit. It's a good exit then by De Campo. The rear view mirror doesn't work, but we'll see towards Blanchimont. So this is what we saw, of course. The Thomas Eng Sim Racing car. Very well put. Look at the extra speed through there though. Gornikov having a look around the outside into the final chicane. Oh, good rotation by the McLaren leading on the way in. Have a little bit of contact on the way out. That is, of course, going to promote understeer in the 121 car, and that is a Gornikov then. Finds himself up into 3rd position. What a battle for the final podium position this is. Does he get the cutback? Nope. Not quite enough room. He was too quick to get the cutback on the exit there. Agornikov takes that exit line. The cameraman takes a second off, and as Agornikov in third, it's Malo still in second place. And Carlo Delia. 7 minutes left to go of race number 1. An absolute masterclass of how to drive a 1 hour race at Spa. Phenomenal lap times. 2 minute 15.6. His last lap, which is only 2/10 slower than the fastest lap of the race so far, set by his teammate in stint number 1. So when I said I didn't think the fastest lap would fall much further because of the track temperature, it would appear that Carlo has seen that as a personal challenge and is absolutely hunting down that lap time. Let's see what he does across the line this time. Bit slower through the traffic, but nonetheless, I get a masterful display up at the front. Will start in 10th place in race number 2. Of course, the top 10, the grid is reversed. The finishing order is reversed. Top 10 for race number 2. I couldn't have fallen over that anymore if I tried. Suarez in the Lambo. They've made back a few places after that early incident. Good to see. I did want to see Jack Evans as well, coming out in the King of the Hills Lamborghini. Pasenko is out for the Absolute Motorsport Asalith team as well. Driver number 2 there. Whitehouse still with that penalty. Molly is out for lockup racing. He's taken over, of course, for Matthias Haleman. 35th position they're running at the moment. Suarez looking to make an improvement there up to 18th. The Campo looking to get back on the podium in the closing stages, and it really is the closing stages. 5 minutes to go. That is a maximum of 3 laps remaining for the team. Matt Redfern and Big Brain in the top 10 there with Chowdhury for the Petrol Aficionados, currently running in 8th place. Ben Crook for PLR Esports, they have got 9th, and it's Beyond Dale Guerrilla Racing inside that top 10. Samuel Chomley. If your friends have stitched you up by telling me to pronounce it like that, my apologies, Samuel. But Cholmondeley, yeah, that does seem about right. But the fast forward racing driver certainly is forwarding fast. He's got the BMW well and truly in his sights. Jason Pooley's had been had a decent stint himself. He's made up positions since he took over, but that is definitely coming under pressure there. Samuel in the back through Belmany again. See the way they get the cars hooked on the inside of those curves to encourage the car to rotate quicker while maintaining the momentum. It does mean an extra grip on the steering wheel is definitely required. Oh, the Audi really getting close there. Let's check back up and have a look, and it's actually the way it's working out then. De Campo could be left behind there, and Gornikov getting the overtake done on De Campo. Now finds himself closer to Malo in second than he does to De Campo behind. And again through turn 1 there, 2 different lines being taken by both cars as the tear now down the hill. The ball firmly in Gornikov's court. He knows how much slipstream advantage he's going to have along that Kemmel straight as they head over Eau Rouge, up Radion, over the crest, either side of the curves, and look how close he is. Oh, there's a sideways Ferrari. How have they avoided that? We might miss an overtake, but I have to see this from on board. So, okay, we're probably going to miss an overtake at the end of the Kemmel straight there, my apologies, but let's see just how close this was. That was a Ferrari sideways at the top of Radion, at which point were the drivers aware of this? It could not have been. So they come over the top of the hill. Oh, and at this point, yep, so they see the car there. And oh, it's the FRL Ferrari, Chris Sota. So that's where we jump back on board. And Malo has actually held on to the position. Apologies for sounding so surprised, Raphael, but with the slipstream there, it did look like Gornikov was going to get a good old run on you there on the way into Melmade, but it is Malo fends him off nicely then. It's still in second position. Gornikov still in third. Matteo De Campo in fourth. Pitchick for the team ballast car up to fifth position. Koplichev there in sixth. Redfern seventh, as I mentioned, and Chowdhury running in eighth place. Let's keep an eye on this battle though. Final podium position up for grabs. 2 minutes left, 2 tenths separating these two drivers. Dalia got one more lap to go. And then we've got another hour of this to go. Much to the love Spa. There's confirmation leaders on the final lap. Oh, and is he having a look? Side by side through the final chicane. Run a bit deep as a Gornikov. Malo's managed to fend him off. Both drivers really fighting to get that power down as quickly as possible as De Campo still lurks in the background. Is he going to be? He's got one last chance for romance if he wants to dance at the big table. And it is the podium. You can see just ahead of him. Really needs a good exit. From the source, the two drivers ahead getting the exit they needed. Chumley and Pooley, they're still battling. Simon Janssen still battling as well. De Campo flying over Radion there. Is it going to be enough to close them in on the battling Malo and Gornikov? And they are going to be battling again into Melody. Oh, he's moved over, he's later on the brakes, he's got two wheels on the outside curve, he's tried to look for the inside line, they've made contact on the way through the corner. He's on the curve. Malo, I think, is still in second place, and this has absolutely brought De Campo right back into the hunt then as we head down the hill. It is the final lap, and there is 3/10 of a second separating through the podium positions, being contested by three drivers, all three of them McLarens, of course, after the Kimura racing car was in the wrong place at the wrong time. It is Koklachev leading the non-McLaren chart, 6th position at the minute. Delia is going to be crossing the line pretty soon, I would imagine, but this is an absolutely enthralling battle between these three. Where is Delia? Well, still got a bit of time to go, just leaving Stavlo now through Blanchimont, Malo and Gornikov. De Campo in the background, a bit of door banging between Gornikov and Malo. That has brought De Campo right back into the hunt. Delia, coming through Blanchimont out of campus and into Stavlo. It's Malo, Gornikov and De Campo, 3/10 of a second separating them in the final straight of the track. Delia exits the final chicane, and after an hour of racing, 26 laps in the books, it is the Italian job blowing more than the doors off. The roof has gone as well, and it's going to be side by side into the final chicane for the final podium positions. It is Malo and Gornikov. Gornikov up the inside, he's got the foot down. Can De Campo do something in the background? It's Gornikov, he's stuck it through on the final corner out of the final chicane. Gornikov takes second, Malo in third. De Campo gets 4th position. There was 4/10 of a second separating those three drivers across the line. Pit check for Team Ballas Ukraine. Gets himself 5th position. Koklachev for Oga Motorsports, BPM Soft in the Audi. Getting the job done for the non-McLarens then. 6th position. Matt Redfern. Great drive by the Big Brain Racing team. What an ending that was. Hands up everybody that's on their feet cheering for that. Oh wow, that was incredible. We've got more people crossing the line taking well-deserved checkered flags there. Chowdhury for the petrol aficionados inside the top 10. 8th place, Ben Crook getting 9th for PLR Esports, and Bjorn Dale rounding out the top 10 for Guerrilla Racing. Pooley and Samuel Tomlindale, look how close these two are across the line as well. 1/10 of a second separating them, and it's a Pooley for SRE Simply Race Esports that just hangs on there right at the death. Tomlindale, great battle he put up there. Janssen coming across the line, so too Nietman. Syme Robinson crosses the line, he'll have a penalty to carry forward onto the scoreboard. Minar down in 21st position for Kimura Racing, but Carlo Delia and the Italian job, absolutely phenomenal drive for the team, and bringing home a well-deserved win. They will of course start the next race in 10th position, the top 10 reversed. We're going there. The top 10 will, of course, be reversed. And then all the other cars will start in the order, that they finished. Ever the professional. There we go. Timetables, please. Thank you very much. But there we go. Confirmation. Delia and Delfante. Great driver. Gornikov and Rakhmatov right at the death there. Taking second. Malo and Klassen taking third place. De Campo and Hladky finding themselves up on the top spots as well. Yeah, Pitchik and Ujetski, as I say, so that is the top 5. So they are instantly in the running for the instant spots in the final. Koklachev, Kondabarov, Redfern and Tomlin, Chowdhury and Lynn. 6th, 7th and 8th. They put themselves firmly in the playoff spots. Of course, though, we've got a lot more racing to come. Another 6 rounds. 2 races per round, which of course means we've got another race this evening. The server will get set. Let me just quickly let's pop that up there. And yeah, we'll bring up some of the highlights. Absolutely incredible racing there. There we go. Superb commentary as per you, Watt. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed that. Fight for P11 coming soon. Oh, there was battles right through the field there. Yeah, this certainly bodes well for the future of the series. It's going to be. Yeah, instant outcome seat. Excellent. And yeah, whoever the modder, we've got. Yeah, hybrid backside there, I think it is. I'm pretty sure that's a bot account. If we could get them chucked. Perfecto, thank you all. So yeah, race number 2, very, very soon. As I say, the finishing order will be carried forward for the starting grid for the next race. The top 10 will be reversed. I am going to do the best I'm going to grab myself a very quick drink. Unbelievable, I'm out of very dry after that. But I'll be back very shortly. We'll be straight here, straight back for race number 2. In the super sprint to the grand finals. Then we wonder what happened in turn 1, lap 1. That would be that. So yeah, enjoy the highlights. Back in a moment. And we are back. All the action here from round number 1. Nothing to suggest there won't be even more at round number 2. Race number 2, sorry, from round number 1. It is, of course, the Super Sprint to the Grand Finals, hosted by Formula Racing League. 5 automatic places up for grabs, and 3 places in the playoffs. Oh, in fact, still got... Oh, yep, we're in the right place. Excellent.
Give me the one, Ken.
Yep, so the drivers doing a bit of practicing. We get straight back out on track again. Again, the race continuing as per local time, although in Belgium I believe it's actually 10 o'clock at night now. They are an hour ahead. And that'll be, clearly has been taken into consideration, so it will be local time. It is 10 PM, the headlights are on. That looks the wrong way around, but that's done and dusted, and that is stuck. Yeah, so there we go then. The grid, of course, as I mentioned. The finishing order for positions 11 through 49 will remain, and the top 10 get their positions reversed. Ones to watch in this one, I'd say, definitely Jeffrey Ritchie for Kimura Racing. The Ferrari caught up in an unfortunate incident in race number 1, finished well down the order, was in the hunt for a podium. That is for sure. 21st starting now. Cesar just ahead as well, another car with definite top 10 pace, finishing down the order, so lots of moves through the field early doors you would expect. Exactly the same format as the previous race. 60 minutes. There's a 10-minute pit window the drivers must adhere to. There must be a tyre swap, and there must be a driver swap. And refueling allowed as well, which I'm going to assume that the drivers will be taking on fuel, given that they've got to take the tyres as well. There is race 1 winner, the Italian job, Carlo Delia. Carlo Delia actually in track, it says Delfante there, but Delfante will be taking the second stint, it would appear. Gordon Koff is starting, Malo is starting, Hladký, Yudzecki, Kondabarov, Joe Tomlin starting, Jimmy Lynn starting. So a bit of a mix then between the drivers that started race 1 and the drivers that are starting race 2. Lopez headlights not showing. It doesn't have them on, that's why. But yeah, we'll be getting them on. Pop those on in game, and the tree's getting in the way again. Anybody want to make any predictions for race 2? Yeah, good luck with that, I give you say. Pitbull Live should refresh shortly as well, I believe, so we'll get the telemetry up for this race as well. Yeah, that'll get refreshed very shortly. So we've got another driver to pop in the server. Here we go. 121. Ooh, night time, says Nico. Woody, okay, Woody broke pit wall. P33 could be worse after the big crash, says Jan Barth. Indeed, indeed. Who have we got? 934 top 40 easy, says Jan. Boom. That's really putting out there, Jan. That's way that's how to put it on the line. That is how to put it on the line. Top 40 for car 934. I like that type of prediction there. Really, really nailing that on the plank there. What is it you call nailing your peg on? Hanging your peg on it. Yeah. Falling over. Oh, nonsense now. Yeah, Blue just confirming P4. Car 121, sorry, that's one. Oh, Matthias Ladke and Matteo De Campo, of course, the Thomas N car. Very quick, very quick. I have faith, says Nico, and 252. Dominic Illinger for the Fast Forward Racing. Yeah, very quick car, that Audi. Very quick car, that Audi. Go Nopec says it's next. And Nopec can certainly go. I've seen him race. There's another team that he's raced for as well. It wasn't always Guerrilla Racing. I know Thomas from another team, Tomaz from another team. Can't quite put my finger on it at the moment. GMLC says I'll happily take top 4. I believe in the boys and the engineer to have the right strap. So 121 then. Thomas saying, of course, the reverse order. They finished in 3rd, so they start in 7th. How's that for a bonus prize and an incentive to finish in the top 10? Gornikov has started, but for some reason saying he's still in the pits. Craig Hill too, but he's out. Chesney Salazar, the Winward Racing team, successfully making it through the warm-up lap this time. No trips into the wall. Here are the top 2. Will we see the podium finish as close as they did on that last race? I mean, that was what, there was 0.2 of a second, and then again between Pooley and Cholmondeley as well, those two. Incredibly close across this line here. A line which will be very much obscured to the drivers unless they've got their headlights on. They're heading towards La Source. It will of course be turn number 1 for the remainder of the race. This is the final of the warm-up lap. I hope everyone got themselves a drink, get the popcorn. I hope you got yourselves a quick bit of fresh air, did a bit of exercise, got the blood pumping. As here comes another hour of absolutely flat out racing, and it's going to start flat out over Radion Crest, over the old Rouge River first. How side by side of the cars going to get more McLaren dominance with 7 inside the top 10. All the cars are through the source. Drive-through for being out of position. It's Ladke. They've got the strategy, they've got the car, they've got the drive-through penalty for being out of position. Oh, it's a Gornikov making contact with Malo in the back, but they've made it through, but no, they've not. In the background, we've got a couple of cars running wide. There's been a bit of an incident again. It's a Mercedes. Oh, there's a bunch-up effect there. They've all gone slow. One of the cars losing momentum massively there, and that is some big damage to a few cars there at very early doors. Can't even get a look far enough down the orbit. Oh, through Maladay we see a bit of contact with the Lamborghini and the McLaren, the Italian job second car. Oh, just getting forced wide there as we can see the Tyre Sim Racing team in the Lambo. They've managed to survive Radio, and this time they're having a good look up the inside, trying to get themselves up into the top 15. Up the front though is Rodriguez. Oh no, that's Rodriguez. Oh, they've not. The Tyre Sim Racing Lamborghini has been involved again. That was the wrong Lamborghini. I couldn't see for the reduced lighting. Miladanovic in the pits. Dave Goodway well down the order. I'm not going to try and catch a replay of what happened at the start there. No way of knowing which car that was involved in triggered it. Yeah, that triggered the enemy, but there's quite a few cars there. Mila Danovic, Rodriguez and Sullivan, Brown, Hill, all well down the order. Alan Brown no longer in the race, O'Sullivan, yeah, he's taking a lot of damage there. The Tyre Sim Racing team, Fun Sim Racing, not much fun. When that is what happens on lap number 1. Rupert back at Greeny finds himself well down the order then, 26th position at the minute. He's got Matthias Haleman behind them, two of the fastest drivers on the track outside the top 20 at the minute. Nigel Longden, it does say Long Smile, but I'm sure he's driving for Eclipse Racing in this event. He's just got the move done on Derek Brough behind him. As you can see, we've got a wayward McLaren in the background. And we've got more concertina effect through the final chicane then, side by side, and that looked like another FRL Ferrari there that was falling by the wayside, and it's Woodward, it was indeed. So Woodward dropping down. Jeffrey Ritchie's out of the race. I was just about to check and see where Ritchie's gone, but he's not in the race. So he did get caught up in that incident as well. So it's been all changed, and there's still more change to come, and that just goes to show you what a tumultuous first lap it was. Nigel Longden in 22nd position, took the fastest opening lap. White's caught no slouch on the opening lap either. He's got Rubio well and truly in his sights. Pauling at Illinger just ahead. Illinger tumbling down the order as well now. So the Audi right down at the 30th position then. Hill still in the pits, O'Sullivan and Mila Danovic still in the pits as well. Thomas Nopek still in the lead, and it is Ben Crook that's now in second for the PLR Esports. There is a Mercedes. In fact, there is no McLarens in podium positions. Take a screenshot. That's the first time this has happened the whole event. And yet Nico Dominic, no. Cars down the cold track. The track is green and 12 degrees. Green being a little bit slidey on its way to being optimum, but still has to get through fast again. It's so really not the idealist conditions. Have clearly caught a few of the drivers out, as Delia finds himself still 9th position, so he's made it up one. Malo Gornikov ahead of him. Gornikov did get ahead of Malo Yujetsky for the Team Ballast car. He's looking to get a move done on Kondabarov. Has he got this one done through the chicane? Kondabarov leaves enough room, and look at the way the McLaren just squirts through that final chicane. Absolutely no chance for Kondabarov in that Audi. We can't get it done. Reverse move into La Source. Drive-throughs still need to be served down. Ladke's going to have to come in on this lap to get that drive-through served, and Rubio has got David Hill going round the outside of turn number 1 down the hill. Puts the BMW firmly up ahead. That's the SRE Esports team then up to 11th position. Joe Tomlin next on the hit list there, as you can see. Tomlin got Jimmy Lynn and race 1 winner Carlo Dalia just ahead. In fact, Dalia coming under serious pressure then from Lynn. Lynn round the outside on the way into Melmac, and Tomlin pick up a position here, almost picks up a BMW badge in the back of his car. The Lamborghini pops one back up the inside, and Rubio retaking it, attempting to retake the position from Hill. Comes right back. Tomlin right round the outside as Glenn already throws the head down. They've gone side by side. Look at the flames coming out of the McLaren once again, as can't quite get the grip around the outside as Joe Tomlin. Comes back up the inside, almost contact with Carlo Deli as they head down towards Double Ghost. Ladke still got a penalty to serve. Nopek and Crook separated by 0.2 of a second, much like the 3 cars that we've got on screen here. And that's a phenomenal run by Delia through Double Ghost. Then let's check on the battle for the lead. It's a 3-way battle then, as Yudzetsky's got a great start. 3rd place at the moment, and looks a lot quicker than the 2 cars ahead. He is in the McLaren, which was seen as a dominant force to be reckoned with here at Spa this evening. Gornikov and Malo also in that car. Nope, let's go straight back to Delhi. He's all over the back of Lynn once again. They're heading towards Blanchimont. Is he going to be ahead? Are they going to go side by side through Blanchimont? It's only taken to race 2, but we're going to see it. Nope, he's got his nose in front. Can he get the rotation? Can he keep it between the Mayo and the Mustard? That's surely on the edge of track limits there, but he's got the car in front. Heavy into the braking zone of the final chicane. Tomlin, Hill, Pollock and Ruby and Machin and Casing all clearly closely watching. So you can see a bunch of the Lamborghinis in the background, and Rubio and Pollock with the Machin in the Porsche there getting involved. Oh, he's moved over there. The Porsche moves to the outside line. The BMW looking for the big send up the inside. Oh, I don't know what's going on there. He's maybe lost sight of his braking marker there, but he was way too late on the brakes. Did avoid contact, but completely avoided the corner exit as well, and he's going to avoid being in the top 10 if he keeps on doing that in turn 1. Owens with contact with the Porsches ahead up the hill. They've survived as Casing has managed to go round the outside and got a McLaren coming out of the pits. There's all kinds of chaos going on here, and Rubio is just ahead of this. It's Arnold Casing who finds himself in a 3-wide battle with Machin. Hladky dropping down the order. He's into the pits, into Melody. Oh, and he's gone wide, and he's just held on to the back of that. The Porsches have managed to avoid contact. That was Bacaglini. So he made his way up to 12th and through Melody, all kinds of sideways on the way into the corner and on the way out. He's down a couple of positions. Oh, and that's the FRL arrive and drive car. That's what we call a bump to pass. And it's definitely frowned upon. Drive through for track limits for Lynn. Jimmy Lynn. 3 laps into the race, 8th place. He's just got himself back ahead a race 1. Oh no, he's not, sorry. He's just ahead at Tomlin. He's got a drive through for track limits. Jeffrey Ritchie not in the race, but his name is still flashing up on the telemetry. It's actually Yehor Yuzetski for the Team Ballas Ukraine team. Looking to put a McLaren back at the top spot of the podium is Ben Crook's Mercedes that he is chasing down. And it's a good thing the McLaren's as wide as it is, and the Mercedes is as wide as it is, because that McLaren has got all kinds of pace in that slipstream, closes the gap. Is he going to go round the outside into the final chicane? The Mercedes really goes full defensive through there. He's compromised his exit speed potentially, or has he? No, he's not. It's the McLaren that bogs down. It's Rafael Malo that sets the fastest lap of the race, and it's Joe Tomlin who finds himself up in position as Lynn. Jimmy Lynn comes in to serve a drive-through penalty. Hello. Oh, your PC's crashed. Oh, Alan Brown for one of the FRL cars. Got to admit, absolutely devastated. It's been some racing tonight. Absolutely love this track, and the drivers are certainly being put through their paces by the Belgian beauty. Rafael Malo looking to put Kondabarov and Agornikov through their paces. Oh, and he's gone right through there. Oh, and the 3 of them almost 3 wide. Agornikov and Kondabarov both battling. Oh, now they've made contact, and it's Malo that showed them both a clean pair of heels then. So let's have a look at this from Malo's point of view from the start of the Kemmel Straight. He had all the pace on Agornikov there. Kondabarov was next in line. Oh, yeah, he was a little bit deep on the brakes there. He's in the middle line though, where he needs to be. And that is Agornikov. Looked like he was trying to come up the inside as he now makes contact with Agornikov. Malo now being chased. He finds himself up to 5th position. Ben Crook really is putting on a defensive masterclass at the moment, keeping Yuzetski behind him. The AMG really is feeling the pressure. Casing on Machin as well as a battle unfolding. Goodby and Loesch resuming their battle from race number 1. Salazar all over the back of Ellinger. A Mercedes Audi battle there. We've got a Mercedes looking to catch up to the Lamborghini leading the way. No pick. Really is getting a bit of a breakaway then. 1.9 seconds the gap he has given himself as the cars behind continue to battle on. Gornikov in the background. Let's just check that one as well. Malo's still got a Gornikov behind them. Kondabarov dropped off the pace ever so slightly since that overtake. Malo is now closing on Yudzevsky ahead, so he really needs to get this overtake done sooner rather than later if he is going to get it done over Eau Rouge. Sparks fly from underneath the Mercedes. The McLaren full commitment then. Can he get this one done in the slipstream? The Kemmel place is the place to do it. The Mercedes stays on the outside line. The McLaren absolutely sails past on that inside. Perfect slingshot there for Yudzevsky, exactly what he needed, just to give him that little extra bit of breathing space to Gornikov and Malo behind him. There we can see Malo's yellow and white McLaren lurking behind the Mercedes of Crook. There he appears once again. Hill and Casing, they're still having a battle, so too is Pollock and Rubia. But this is podium battles that we're on board with now. Thomas Nopek on the podium on the top spot, and again, just like race 1, race 2, the leader getting a clean pair of heels. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, all having battles, and the leader getting a nice big breakaway early doors. 13 minutes in, and he's got a 2-second gap there. So Guerrilla Racing looking good long term in this race. The track now upgraded to fast. So slightly quicker than it was in the practice session, but certainly not at its optimum pace, although 2 minutes 17.9. No, sorry, Malo's done a 2 minutes 16.9. So even when the track is fast, he is 4 seconds quicker, 3 seconds quicker, only 3 seconds quicker. Excellent. Yudzevsky, look at this into the final chicane then. Malo really wants that position then. He is putting... Oh no, has he just been overtaken by a Gornikov? Yes, he has. My apologies, a Gornikov's just got the overtake done. So more McLaren overtaking action in the final chicane. This time it is McLaren on McLaren. So Kruk then found he was really quickly closed in, and I didn't see that in the background because of the headlights. And a Gornikov absolutely pounced. Gets a great run through that chicane and finds himself with the position. Malo now in 5th place. Kondabarov, the Audi, just behind, chasing him down. Ben Kruk now the driver. Oh, and he's... Look at that, Gornikov wasted no time whatsoever off the Kemmel straight. He's gone side by side on the way into Melmaday. Malo can see exactly what's going on here. He's keen to get himself involved. He was almost keen to put it in the kitty litter there, heading down the hill, heavy on the brake. You see that braking foot doing all the work there, even through the corner. Just that little dab of brake to get the weight of the car where he needs it. Does it need to be on the back wheels for acceleration? Does it need to be on the front wheels for that extra steering input required to rotate the car, potentially get it up the inside onto double gauche? All three of them avoiding that inside curve on the way in, as you can see, and just touching the white line on the exit. So yeah, track condition, track temperature 11 degrees, and the track only rated at fast. So it is going to be a bit of a juggling act, keeping the PSI in the tyres and keeping the car on the track, and especially when you're keeping it to within 0.3 of a second of the car that's 2 places ahead. Kruk is only 0.3 of a second ahead of Malo, although Malo, not the most convincing exit there from Stavlo out with the 3 cars, and he's going to really struggle to close this one in, whereas ahead of Gornikov getting all the slipstream. He's going to have to go up the inside through Blanchimont, a little bit of touch. Mercedes runs wide. Malo follows through, and that is Ben Kruk. Oh, and he's lost the car. He lost 2 positions there, and he lost the car. Oh, and that was a great start for the PLR car. I really struggled with it. Acura PLR RNL Roar. But anyway, through the Mercedes, my apologies. Oh, yeah, he's tapped him there on the way in. Oh, and then he's given him another little tap on the way out, and he's done well to keep it out of the wall there. He's touched the grass here. Yep, that curb. As soon as I saw him head towards that curve, you knew what was happening. Yep, there's only so much you can save on the grass. If you hit the offside of the curb that's the outer side of the curb, from that side, you are going to get yourself airborne. You're going to unsettle the car. And no matter how much work you do to your bump stop range, your fast bump stop range, or any bump stop range that you see fit, you're not surviving that. How are you going to survive 3 wide off the Kemmel Straight into Melmaday? You are, if you are Delia, Crook and Kondabarov. They've absolutely just made that stick then. Ben Crook has managed to hold on to the position then, but as you can see, as he was righting himself from that incident, it's Carlo Delia, winner of course of race number 1. All the slipstream he was afforded there, had no choice but to look for the overtake. As we see Kondabarov on the outside. Oh, bit of contact between the Mercedes and the McLaren. Not a lot of room left on the right hand side there. The McLaren managing to keep himself going. Had to use a lot of that curve through the middle of Melmaday, and that's what's brought him into the clutches once again. Although as I'm saying that, I believe it's Delia. No, he's not ahead of Crook. Crook's still ahead. Uzetski, great drive as we've seen from him so far, and he's wasted no time whatsoever. Now that he's dispensed of the battle behind, that is the race leader, Thomas Nopek, Guerrilla Racing Team. He sees within half a second. When he says he sees, if those headlights go out, he certainly won't. The conditions now extremely dark. Now that was a bit of a shallow entrance into the final chicane. Has that compromised his exit? It has indeed, as we can see the Lambo shows him a clean pair of heels. Let's see what Malo's doing on the exit. Still got a Gornikov ahead of him. Delia has now closed right in on Ben Crook, and in fact they've missed an overtake there as well, as they're side by side on the exit. Delia politely inviting Crook over. That's 3 contacts on a straight. I'm not 100% sure. That's going to be deemed to be legal as Delia finds his way down the hill. We'll have another look at that one because it was a good battle. The Mercedes runs deep into the final chicane. Delia tries to go round at the outside, finds himself off the track, and then we head towards La Source. The Mercedes holding his ground. Oh, and then he comes back over. So yeah, a couple of contacts there. The stewards could well be taking a look at that one. I'm sure the drivers will hope to look at it sooner rather than later. If you're going to get a penalty, you at least want to make sure you get it before you take your pit stop. You don't want to be carrying that time over the line. Again, so many battles going on down through the field. Ian Thompson certainly giving Matthew Feltham a lot to handle at the minute. He's closing down there. Neil Woodward still in the pit. Fabian Carner down in 31st at the minute. Chris Hillman hasn't had the best opening couple of races then. The McLaren finds himself down in 29th position, and Gianluca Bellucci for the MF Corse team down in 28th. It was Rodriguez and Thompson that was looking to check on, and of course 15th Remy Loesch. More phenomenal battles going on there. It's Michael Firth just got the overtake done there, so let's have a check out of this one. Remy getting a good run over the Rouge, up on the top of Radio, and might be slightly over the line then, but that is Michael Firth, of course, famous Floppy Fox. Oh, that's a big look from there. That is a big look, heavy on the brakes. Michael stays right out of the way. The Lambo holds the line and gets through. So yeah, not so much to send, just better on the brakes. Looks like Firth not putting up too much of a battle there. Uzetski. Is in the lead of the race. Nopek second, Gornikov in third, Malo in fourth. We'll get that rewound as well. And in fact, yeah, let's just concentrate. Nope, let's see if we can catch. So yes, he really has got this one absolutely nailed up at the front. Yeah, in the final chicane, you can see the Thomas Nopek then now coming under serious pressure. That is... Mikel Rodriguez finds himself being overtaken on the way into campus. That is blue flag though, sorry. Oh no, it's not, it's Mateusz Ladke. I knew 1-2-1 should be up the field, but yeah, it's Ladke back in the pits after repairing damage. Back out in 22nd position, Remy Loesch in that 13th place with Arnold Kasing in the McLaren, and that is a BMW there as well, so a couple of cars out of position at the minute. Remy Loesch. Oh no, sorry, that is David Hill. That's the SRE Simply Race Esports BMW. He's just getting himself involved in a battle with Michael Firth coming under pressure from Blasmation, the SR Esports third car. And of course having a good run at the moment. Firth about to come under pressure once again. He's not all lost the position. But still up at the front. Ooh, and that looked lively on the exit to Blanchimont. And the Gornikov is going to put his car up the inside. Ooh, he's run it ever so slightly deep there, and Malo could look to get a double cut back here. Gets a good exit. Gornikov makes his way through, then Nopek flashing the lights, potentially unhappy at someone, but he's going to be even more unhappy because Rafael Malo is going to pop that one up the inside and takes that podium position on exit. No room for Nopek to accelerate. So let's have a good look at this and see how that change took place. Nopek, there is a car ahead there. Oh, but too far ahead. Oh, he's just run a bit wide there, lost traction, lifted a bit to avoid track limit violation penalties from the in-game stewards, and that's cost him a lot of momentum. Oh, and he's run out wide there. Yeah, so he's really had to lose momentum there. But again, potentially a lift. I mean, Gornikov, at first glance, that certainly doesn't look like the most courteous of overtakes. If you are going to go side by side, it's nice to at least leave room for the other car on the exit. So we'll see, that could potentially get looked at by the stewards. But there, of course, was the Rafael Malo car going through as well. So that was a double positional drop there for Nopek, and all the while Yehor Yudzetsky for the Team Ballas car. Pit window's going to open in 43 seconds as well. Haha, just gets better and better. Michael Firth has been overtaken by Blaise Maichen. They two are still fighting. Mateusz Ladke finds himself in 22nd position with Luca Gagliardini, the Absolute Motorsport car. The car now ahead of him, checking back up at the front row. Yeah, there are still... Oh, Cesar Milodanovic is out. Nigel Longdon bring up the rear of the field at the minute. We've got Salazar as well, chasing down Jimmy Lynn. That grandstand finish to race one. Salazar 26th position for the Windward Racing Mercedes. Confirmation that the pit window is open. Confirmation that Rafael Malo really fancies second place in this race. Gornikov is the driver ahead of him. They get an excellent exit out of La Source. Crook, Tomlin and Kondabarov having a battle in the background as in Rubia comes in to the pit, the first driver during the pit window to do so. Absolutely flat out while in the slipstream for Malo, up Eau Rouge and over Radion. Himself and Gornikov not separated by much. Thomas Nopek, the headlights in the distance there. Wow, the McLaren's really using the curves at different stages to try and counter one another's lines, try and counter the defences and keep that momentum. Absolute flood into the pit. Hill in, Gagliardini in, Loesch in to follow, and Rubia Kasing. Did I mention Kasing? He's in. Yeah, Loesch Hill and Gagliardini all finding their way in. Goodway stays out to take a couple of positions. We've got Dennis Waitshork Doesn't matter how many times you practice them. Yeah, there's always one that catches you out. Weechcourt though, the RNL Roar team, up in the top 10, and in fact we're going to have to go back up to the top 3 again. It's not often you'll find me broadcasting a race where it's always the battles up at the front. It's always the closest that we like to watch, and these two are the closest once again, Malo and Agornikov. And just to say that, Ben Crook looking to steal a position back from Kondabarov if he can, and Weechcourt, he is still closing in on Pollock as well. Let's see what Malo can do into the final chicane. Can he get close enough? Right, these cars are going to come into the pits. Oh, one of them does. It's Agornikov. So Agornikov for VDES Junior comes in. Rafael Malo stays out. Nopek stays out. Delia. Kondabarov has come into the pits. Delia has stayed out. Ben Crook has stayed out. So too is Joe Tomlin. Joe Tomlin has stayed out as well. We've got Suarez, who has taken the wheel for Tire Sim Racing Esports, out in the Lamborghini. Gasing's handed over to Michael Sain. Loesch is handed back over to Max Leonard for the Panda Esports team. And it is Jason Hooley back out for David Hill. 5-second penalty for cause. So Bellucci picking up a penalty. I think we're going to see a few more penalties coming in. As you look at Bellucci picking up 5 seconds there. Michael Firth comes into the pits to take his pit stop. Agornikov, as we saw, in. It's a long way to Tipperary, and it is an even longer way to your pit box at Spa. Or seemingly so, of course. With the length of the Spa track, the pit lane isn't actually that long, comparatively speaking to a lot of other race tracks. It just seems like an eternity, but the lap itself is an eternity for us mere mortals that can only lap it in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. 15-second penalty being handed out, and another, that's a 20-second penalty in total for car 14, which is Big Brain Racing, Ryan O'Sullivan for Big Brain. So it's 20-second penalty they'll have to serve in the pits. So they'll be hoping their sister car can crack on and do well. Towards the end of the race. Let's see what Yazeski and Malo are doing over the front. 1.9 seconds separating the leader, in fact, Weechcourt. Another 5-second penalty. That's for Pollock in the top 10. The Squadra Corsa team in the Lambo have got themselves a 5-second penalty. And they've got Weechcourt all over the rear spoiler then, the RNLR Roar car, as we can almost see in the dark. Holding my breath there into that final chicane. Track still fast, still 11 degrees. Delia comes into the pits. So the car that won race 1 into the pits from 4th place in race 2. Fastest car on the track is Rafael Malo at the minute. Not fast enough to really make any impression on Yazeski's lead up at the front though. Still that sits at 1.9 seconds as Yazeski furiously flashing the lights at the blue flags ahead of him, trying to lose as little time as possible because let's face it, he knows what's chasing him. Barry Gibbons, I know that name. He's out, taking over for Michael Firth in the Ferrari. 18th place there, back out in. Drive through for speeding in the pit lane. It's Jimmy Lind, who's just handed over to Subham Chowdhury. So the petrol aficionados are going to officially get themselves back into the pits for another unwanted trip there. So that is going to shuffle up the order down the field as well. Delia Crook Malvone's come into the pits. That's a new addition to the pits. Where are we going? Andrea Malvone for the Italian job, second car, again running. And just inside the top 10 has got in the pits Dave Goodway for the FRL Arrive and Drive car. Their Lambo finding its way into the pits. There is Delia's car leaving, so that will be Eric Delfante, of course. Took pole position in the opening qualifying and led for his entire stint. The car bringing home the win. The reward started 10th in race number 2. And here comes Eric Delfante to take his stint in race number 2. 3 minutes left of the pit window, so Yazeski is going to be coming in pretty soon, closely followed by Malo. The gap only down a 10th as Thomas Nopek stays out that. Okay, 2 minutes 48 seconds, so does have enough time to get another lap. So Nopek looking to put another lap on the odometer. As I was looking at Koklachev there in 12th, all over the back of Greeny's car. No, sorry, Lorenzo Trizoldi for the PLR Esports. Their Mercedes back out 11th place then, so these two looking to resume their battle. This is likely to be for 7th place. Once the pit stops iron themselves out, Joe Tomlin in the pits, Waitscourt in, Matchin in, Illinger in, Ladke will be back, will be in soon, already been in for a penalty. Trizoldi coming under all kinds of pressure. Again, the PLR Esports car has really been in the thick of the action in race number 2 so far. Thomas Nopek just coming through sector 2 now, so still got a long chunk of the lap to go. Koklachev still battling away, looking to try and get this over this position taken from the Mercedes. He's going to have to try and go side by side through Blanchimont. The Mercedes almost inviting it there. And Koklachev using the curb to steady the car. Maintains the position he's currently in. Fully on Osorio. That could be a good battle as well, actually. Joe Kleister is out for the MMS, but that's not who we were looking for. I was looking. For Pooley and Pooley. So let's see what happened here then. That looks tries to go round the outside. Does the back of the BMW? No, the back of the BMW absolutely planted through that. Ooh, he's a bit lively on that inside curb though. In these conditions, you don't want to be picking up too much rubble on your tyres. And you don't want to put your foot on the loud pedal when you've got the back wheels on the green AstroTurf. Jason Pooley with a one-way ticket into the wall there. Neatly gets that squared away and running again, but that is huge damage and hugely detrimental to any chance for top 10 positions at this stage of the race. Thomas Nopek into the pits. It is Rakhmetov and VDS Juniors that are still leading the charge. Team Ballas. Oh, my apologies. Rakhmetov is ahead of Team Ballas. Team Ballas came into the pits in the lead. There they are exiting the pits, and they've got Klassen just behind them. Not Thomas Nopek, but Rakhmetov getting the run. So that stop 1 lap earlier, doing wonders for the VDS Junior team. That completely slipped under my radar there. But they have taken the lead, and I tell you, Ole Pitchik and the Team Ballas team car, they've definitely not slipped under Martin Klassen's radar. He is all over the back of them now. This is going to be an absolute grandstand finish between these three for the final podium positions. This could be all 3 podium positions we're looking at the moment. It all depends where Thomas Nopek comes back out. He was in 4th when he came into the pit. But has he managed to get himself some very fast in laps? We will find out. There's a 15-second penalty for UB. The Italian job second car picking up 15 seconds. They've already been in the pits. So that will, of course, be added to the final standings. Bjorn Dale now leaving, and I think that's the race leaders just gone past. Yes, it is. So Rakhmetov is through, Pitchik is through, Klassen is through. Then it is Delfante, who has got himself just ahead then of Beyond Dale in the Guerrilla Racing. So Guerrilla Racing come back out in 6th position. It says 5th there, but I believe they'll drop down one more. Oh no, they're ahead of Matt Redfern, sorry. It is 5th place, sorry. For Beyond Dale, it is 5th place. Delfante is ahead. Klassen, fastest car on the track at the moment. Oh, and he really is looking to accentuate that moniker of fastest car on the track all over the back of Ole Pitchek then as they make their way past a blue flag as well. Incredible driving. Oh yeah, Pitbull Live. I keep looking at Pitbull Live. It's unfortunately not running for this one. Sorry, what was I looking at there? Completely lost my train of thought there, but let's just keep an eye on the train of thought that Klassen is having. He wants that 2nd place. They're side by side. It is the podium battle once again. 1st place in the race is off and running. It's all about 2nd and 3rd. There's no separation between them at all at the minute. We can see Klassen for the SRE Rocket Sport team trying to find a way around the outside of La Source. Pitchek very firmly closes the door on that idea. In the background, Delfante is just taken the fastest lap of the race. He is closing in on the drivers ahead. Bjorn Dale finds himself still finds himself in that 5th place with Cocklechere. Drive through for track limits. That must be one of the teams further down. Chowdhury, Chris Gedman. And the White House with a stop go 32nd there. Chris Gedman unfortunately picking himself up a drive-through penalty. So too Subham Chowdhury. Mateo De Campo up that inside, and he's defending from the Porsche down in 19th position. Of course, caught up in that early incident. They've got a bit of damage still. And a lot of door banging going on at the minute with the Porsche. The Porsche still looks like he might try for this up the inside line. Not De Campo gets that one done. Lubanchik then confirmed 19th. Sorry, De Campo in 18th place. Suarez in 9th place. He's got Eric Janssen just ahead of him on Pitchek and Klassen. These two still battling, only a 10th between them. Let's see what happens with Suarez and Janssen. On board with the new Lambo. In fact, the passenger seat, it's actually not too bad in the new Lambo. All the extra steering input being required there by Suarez in that Lambo, trying to hang on to the back of Janssen if he can. Lubanchik and De Campo now all over the back of Osorio. As we can see, De Campo actually getting the move done then on Osorio out of Stavolo. More penalties being handed out. It is Cooley being given a 15-second penalty for causing a collision. There is an outcomes sheet as well. It's actually a right but that is available in the Discord as well. We're well over the halfway mark of round number 1. It is race 2, round number 1 of the FRL Super Sprint to the Grand Finals. Places in the VCO SimGrid Grand Finals up for grabs. 5 automatic, 3 into a drive-off in October. 3 teams from the drive-off will get themselves places in the final as well. It's a multi-class final, GT3 and GT4 cars, and it will be 2 drivers per car, much like these events, of course, with the driver swaps. We've got Suarez and Janssen absolutely battling along the Kemmel Straight. Suarez trying to fend off Janssen. Janssen trying to look for a move, see if he could force a defensive move from the Lamborghini, find a chink in the armour. Nothing doing at the moment. Max Leonard. Leonard looking to take advantage of the penalty. You can see on Duby ahead of him 4/10 of a second, so that 15 seconds at the minute. Going to see Duby drop 3 places. So really doesn't want to spend too much time battling and potentially losing time to the drivers further down the road. That could be very costly. Stefanchik still in the pits. Oh, of course, there was a couple of teams that said they might minus a driver this evening. So they would potentially incur in-game penalties, but there was circumstance beyond their control, so they were just going to have to take that one on the chin. So could well be the position that Stefanchik finds himself in just now. Gedman back at the pits after the drive-through, 25th position. So didn't fall too far down the orders. Jack Williams and James Williams, Jack Evans, sorry, and James Williams behind him. Jan Barth there in 28th for Advisor. Dan Whitehouse back at the pits after a stop-go penalty there for the Big Brain Racing team. He is in 29th. Chris Soter in the pits in 30th. It's Chris Jones out for Nigel Longdon there in 31st position. Just checking, it is actually getting a bit spread out then. It's Janssen still applying a bit of pressure to Suarez. And in fact, Suarez with a bit of a gap actually now. As we say that, so in the closing 16 minutes of race number 2, we'll find what could be considered a bit of breathing space for most of the drivers. After an extremely hectic race number 1, 16 minutes left in this one. The drivers will just be looking to bring the cars home as best they can. Potentially hoping we can, they'll obviously be potentially hoping they see some mistakes from other drivers. The conditions not the finest, certainly not the worst, given the rain. Max Leonard, whoa, there we go. Embracing his full Harry Potter stealth livery there. He knows he's going to get this position from Duby as soon as he crosses the line with that 15-second penalty. We would definitely like to get it done on track, I'm sure. The Panda Esports car looking to make up as many points and places as possible after race number 1. In the background there is Simon trying to close in on Samuel Cholmondeley and the Fast Forward Racing Audi, another car from race 1 involved in some great battling, and it looks like it's going to be another battle to the end here as well. Down at the double gauche, really throws that Audi and gets a good grip. That's a very, very good exit then. Sign left standing there in the back of him this time. Stablo then, Cholmondeley, he has got that gap absolutely where he wants it, not giving up any slipstream towards Blanchimont. Duby and Leonard still going in it just ahead as they come into the final chicane. The McLaren still fending off the Lambo. Oh, and we've got penalties up at the top of the field. Martin Klaassen, the SRE Rocket Sim Sport team, have been given a 5-second penalty, which would put Pitchick up to second, and will in fact at this point put Delfante up to third place. Delfante in the Italian job team got that fastest lap of the race so far in race number 2, 2:16.4 no less. Incredible pace. And yeah, but that 5-second penalty then for Klassen SRE Esports team, that is going to be straight off the podium unless they can find a lot of time over these two in the closing 13 minutes. So really here, the last thing Delphant and Pitzik want to be doing is getting themselves involved in any kind of battle. Sainz still chasing Cholmondeley down the field. Zubancic still needs to come into the pits. So yeah, I would guesstimate that being the team that didn't have a second drive in both races. Chris Jones just over Eau Rouge and Radion once again. 31st position at the minute, but at the sign, there we go, that I was looking for there. He is still chasing Cholmondeley. And yeah, the podium battle absolutely not over. It'll be interesting to see what Pitzik decided to do here. Does he defend to hold on to the on-track? I mean, even if Delphant gets past him, he's going to finish third because of the penalty Klassen's got ahead. But of course, if he finishes ahead of Delphante, that means he's finishing in second. Does the race driver kick in? Or does the cam head kick in? Which one do you do? They have won race number 1. Oh, and that's game over then. That's that one decided. A 5-second penalty for causing a collision for Delphant and the Italian job team. So that finds them off the podium. They will remain in 4th place because Klassen's got a 5-second penalty. So Pitzik will be promoted. Klassen will fall behind Pitzik, but he will stay ahead of Delphant because he is ahead of Delphant and they've both got exactly the same penalty. So that will, no penalties, negate themselves. And Pitzik, he really has got the prime position at the minute. Timur Rakhmetov, he's clearly got the prime position at the minute. 20 laps in, 11 minutes left to go. And that is a 2-second gap he has over a driver with a 5-second penalty. 7 seconds Klassen needs to overturn in the closing 10 minutes. And given the fact that Rakhmetov is hitting 2 minutes 16s himself, that is going to be a very, very, very big ask with not a lot of time left out on track. Looking to maximise that time on track. Max Leonard for Panda Esports Racing in the Lambo. He has got a penalty, but so does Duby ahead of him. Duby's penalty increasing. Oh no, sorry, it's still at 15 seconds. Leonard has been given a penalty, so he will still finish ahead of Duby. Cholmondeley will finish ahead. Oh! That was a car losing its way there. That was Jack Evans, unfortunately. The Lambo, actually, it looks like is he already carrying damage at this point? Pretty difficult to tell in this lighting, to be fair. So he's moved. Oh no, that's not the place to do it. Yeah, he's almost. Yeah, so I think he was actually carrying damage at this point already. He is just crawling along through Blanchimont. Definitely not up to speed there. And while we were watching that, Pitzik has been overtaken. Delphante getting the job done. Oh, much quicker exit out with the last corner into Le Source up the inside. No time wasted whatsoever then. So Delphante, can he open up a 5-second gap to Pitzik? If he does, that is going to be an absolute worldie of a drive given the pace that we've seen. Not a long time to do it. He's given up the slipstream along the Kemmel Straight. This is of course where we jumped on board to this. Pitstick just needs to keep within range. He's going to get that position. Klassen only just into Melmede. Rakhmetov just on his way through as well. So Klassen is actually closed in on Rakhmetov. And Delphant is closing in, and he's bringing Pitstick with him. And this is going to be a four-way battle for the win. It really is. Looking at this now, Klassen within a second and a half. Only he's actually 4.2 up on Delphante. So Delphante and Pitstick's battle is putting them out, almost putting them out of reach of Martin Klassen. Even with that penalty, he's going to potentially maintain second position. He's closing right in on Rakhmetov as well. On that last lap there, he was 8, 6 or 7 tenths quicker than Rakhmetov. Oh wow, this really is going to be some finish. Suarez and Kokhlichev, they're still having a battle as well, looking for honours inside the top 10, 7th position. Kokhlichev currently hanging on to that Lamborghini, doing his best to take that place. Rakhmetov then how far ahead, Klassen along the Kemmel Straight into Melmede, and Klassen is on the straight, and we can see behind him the headlights not quite visible then, so he really is getting the job done. 4.2 seconds. He is now ahead of Delphante, and Delphante finding good time on Pitstick. Is it going to be enough though? 7 minutes of the race left. An ever diminishing light. Suarez still going quickly. We're going to have to keep an eye on this though. Klassen still up at the front. He is still chasing down Rakhmetov. 6 minutes left to go. We've only got 3 or 4 laps left. VDS Junior at the moment leading the way. Thanks to that penalty, you would have to say they're definitely odds-on favourite to win at this point. Don't want to be cursed to the commentator, but despite Klassen being that bit quicker over a lap, it is only 6 or 7 tenths of a second, and with 6 minutes left to go, that is not enough time to get that gap beyond that 5-second penalty. Delphante's found. Oh, a car facing the wrong way. Car 79 and car 14. Some lights flashing there. Sorry, I'm not sure. Yeah, car 14. Just moving again. That's Dan Whitehouse. He's come off track. Let me just check that. He's run a bit deep. Klassen's made it through. While I was checking that, so I was concentrating in car 14. Oh, Klassen has made it through. How has he made that stick? Oh, but he's not got the run on the exit then. Is he giving that position back? Rakhmetov back out in the lead. Let's have another look at that one. Oh, it was Chris Gedman. That's the car I was looking for. So yeah, he really had to look up that inside there on the way into Melmede. Couldn't get close enough in the slipstream, but it's certainly game on for the race win. Well, to be the first driver or the first car across the line, that 5 seconds penalty is certainly going to deny the win. You can see how close Klassen's getting though. And there is where he sails through, almost missed the overtake again. So he sailed through, clipped the curve, stayed out wide on the marbles, and gave the position back. So yeah, I looked away at the worst possible time there. I think there was potentially a bit of contact between the two. And the position's been given back. Klassen having another look at this one, going for the cut back, and he's got this one down the inside. That is a beautiful move into turn number 1. Can Klassen? No, he's not got it done. That really looked like he got that exit nailed there. Not to be though. Rakhmetov knows that he's going to win. Oh, and that's over the lines. That could be an in-game warning. You don't want to be picking them up. He's flashing the lights. He's up the inside. Rakhmetov's going to send them round the outside. Is he going to leave? Of course he's going to leave space. How much space is he going to leave? Oh, and he's got his nose in front. He's got the job done then. Klassen just sneaks his way in the lead. Oh, and he's taking a tap on the way through. He wasn't moving as quick as Rakhmetov would have hoped for, and in the background, while that's all been going on, he was 4 seconds down. That is Delphante, who is in the background. The top 3 are now separated by 0.3 of a second once again, 0.4 of a second, and 2 of the podium have got themselves drive through penalties. So at the moment, Rakhmetov is still going to win. Delphante and Pitchik is going to get himself... Oh, good question actually. I think Klassen still finishes ahead of Pitchik. He's got a lot of running to do. We'll find out when they cross the line. We've got a drive-through for Simon. We've got Gibbons closing in on Lupanchik, who still has to take that mandatory pit. Pooley with a 15-second penalty there, down in 23rd position. Battle for P5, I'm being told. Let's have a look and see. Bjorn Dale is indeed, yeah, good spot. It is Dale being chased down at the minute by Koklachev. Although, where's Redfern? Oh, Redfern's just got himself past actually, so he is actually ahead of Dale, so he's just got the overtake done. Dale floundering ever so slightly on the exit there as well. Koklachev, there's confirmation the leader is on the final lap. And Delphante has got himself ahead of Rakhmetov. It's all happening in the final few laps. Koklachev still putting the pressure on Bjorn Dale. They're going side by side then. They've got another car there. Suarez then in the background getting involved in this one as well. In the Lambo, as we can see, it's Redfern who is leading this group at the moment. He's got those 3 drivers following him very closely indeed. Klassen is leading the way. Delphante in second. Rakhmetov in third. He is close enough though, so Rakhmetov is still going to win the race at this pace. It's all about Pitchik really. Is he close enough? I don't think he's close enough to get Delphante. Oh, so he is close enough to get Delphante. Oh, drive through for track limits in the closing stages. Oh no, 1 lap to go, sorry. Klassen, Delphante, Rakhmetov, Pitchik, Redfern, Dale, Koklachev. Oh, as you can see, then go side by side on the way into Melmody on the Kerbal Straight. On the last lap, Bjorn Dale retaking 6th position. Oh, Koklachev on the grass, and that has let Suarez sail on through the tyre sim racing Lambo. Getting positions done on the last lap. Can Koklachev find the answer to retake that position? Down the hill, the Audi getting close to the Lambo. Pretty much the same car manufacturer, really. Leonid and Trizoldi. Leonid still with that 5-second penalty. But here comes Klassen through Blanchimont. He's heading towards Blanchimont. That is definitely his headlights leading the way. Only 6/10 ahead. What a drag by Eric Delphante and the team. Started 10th. Klassen started in 9th. They're going to finish 1st and 2nd in this one. But the penalties are going to see them robbed of those finish positions. Klassen might hang on to the podium, but he's going to cross the line into the McLaren SRE Rocket Simsport, taking the top spot in race 2, the Italian job. taking second, Rakhmetov for VDS Junior in third, but it will be the race win for the VDS Junior team. Ollie Pitzik crossing the line as well for fourth. I think it's third though, but Matt Redfern for Big Brain Racing. That will be fifth place there. Kokachev, Suarez and Dale still going out into the final chicane then. Bjorn Dale leads the way out with these three. Oh, you thought about it there. Kokachev trying a big late move into the final chicane. Not to be though. As Redfern crosses the line, Dale followed by Suarez, then Kokachev. Is Yevgeny Nietman crossing the line for ninth, not far behind Trisoldi and Leonard. Another driver with a 5-second penalty then, so he may well lose positions as well. De Campo with a great drive for the 121 car. Back up to 13th position. So yeah, great damage limitation there. As we can see some of the drivers coming across the line. But what a drive by Martin Glassman. What a drive by everyone involved in that top three battle. That was incredible. And we've had teams like Jeffrey Ritchie not make it to the end of the race. McLaren is definitely not OP, clearly. Yeah, the McLaren definitely does still seem a bit OP. I'm not really sure there's much we can say to deny that. And I'm not really sure there's much we can say to deny Tamir Rakhmetov and the team, the VDS Junior Esports. That is definitely the race win for them with those penalties. This is going to be an incredible series going forward. Considering the races that we've got coming up. And what we've just seen, this is another series that is going to go right down to the wire. Absolutely, better believe it. Klassen Malo, Delfant and Delia given the race wins at the moment. We'll of course see that change. The full results, Steward adjusted of course, will be available on the SimGrid website. In fact, race 1 results already there. Confirmation the Italian job took first, VDS second, and Rocket Sim Sport third. The same three teams on the podium in race number 2, despite the top 10 reverse order grid. Absolutely incredible racing right through the field. And like I say, this one is going to go right down to the wire. So make sure you get hitting that follow button. Join the Discord as well. Get involved in all the action the FRL have got to offer. 5 Twitch channels they've now got to cater for all your sim racing needs. This was round number 1 of the Super Sprint to the Grand Finals. Of course, 5 automatic places in the VCO SimGrid Endurance Final in November and December. A 3-round final. Top 3 in this championship will get themselves a place in the final in a GT3 car. 4th and 5th will get a place in the finals in a GT4 car. 6th, 7th and 8th will get themselves a car. Will get themselves a place in a playoff in October, and the top 3 cars from the playoff will get themselves a spot in the final in a GT4 car. So it's all to play for. Imola up next. Then of course it will be Bathurst, Kyalami, Silverstone, Valencia and the Nürburgring. And remember, every round it is real weather condition. So make sure you get tuned in. What a night of racing that has been. The opening 2 hours in the rear view mirror. The headlights firmly shining on the competition we've got ahead, and what a competition it is going to be. My name, of course, John Wright, aka Double O Raven. It has been an absolute pleasure bringing you the action this evening. Massive thank you to Formula Racing League for getting myself involved and putting on such a phenomenal competition. Congratulations to all the teams that survived Spa and made it to the end, and massive congratulations to the 3 teams that made it onto the podium in both races. The Italian job, VDS Racing and Rocket Sim Sport, laying down early markers to the rest of the field. Can't wait to see how the rest of this one plays out. But until next time, which will of course be the same time next week at Imola, try and contain your excitement. See you all again very soon. Stay safe, take it easy, and have a great rest of your night. Good night.